Chapter 1105. Lin. That's right, she was just trying to sound him out. What shocked her was that she actually made a sound. At that moment, she felt incredulous. It was as if she was dreaming. She didn't even know what her voice sounded like. Lin Xian. She tried to sound him out again. The next moment she covered her little mouth in shock. Lin Xian looked at her with a smile. She looked at Lin Xian in disbelief. This scene was so magical that she really felt like she was dreaming. You're not dreaming. Lin Xian looked at her with a smile. Why? She asked Lin Xian excitedly. Don't ask. If you ask, it's because I'm too handsome. Lin Xian smiled. Effed. Zhao Yunqi couldn't help but laugh. Come, stand up and walk around. Lin Xian looked at her and said. Ah. Zhao Yunqi looked at Lin Xian in shock. Walk around. Do you still need me to support you? Lin Xian asked with a smile. Zhao Yunqi felt a little dizzy. She could suddenly speak. Now Lin Xian was asking her to stand up. Could it be? Then she stood up tentatively. She didn't walk, but when she saw that she could stand on the ground, without holding on to anything, her eyes reddened. Lin Xian got up, took her hand, and walked a few steps with her. I'm back to normal. Lin Xian smiled and nodded. Yes, I told you. That goo worm is the culprit. When the goo worm disappears, of course you'll be able to return to normal. Zhao Yunqi was so emotional that tears fell. Lin Xian didn't stop her from crying. He could understand Zhao Yunqi's feelings. This feeling was indescribable. Thank you. Zhao Yunqi couldn't help but hug Lin Xian. Her delicate body was trembling slightly. Lin Xian gently patted her back. Zhao Yunqi felt like she was the happiest person in the world. She had met Lin Xian when she was at her most despairing. His songs had reawakened her hope for life. After meeting him, he had given her the best gift in the world. All right. You'll be fine after crying for a while. My clothes have been ruined by your crying. Can you help me wash them? Lin Xian smiled and patted her back. Zhao Yunqi's sobbing, made people feel especially tender and protective towards her. After a long while, Zhao Yunqi finally calmed down from her emotional state. Hubby, Lin Xian and Chi have been in the room for more than an hour. What do you think is going on? Asked Li Siyu worriedly. No matter what, Chi-Chi's wish to see him has been fulfilled. I'm really grateful to this Lin Xian. Sigh. Then Zhao Tianque sighed. But, thinking of his daughter, even a grown man like him couldn't help but tear up. Why was the world so unfair? Even if she couldn't move or speak, it was only a slight inconvenience. But if she lost all her 5 senses, they couldn't imagine how devastated they would be when they saw their daughter one day. Dad, Mom. At this moment, a sweet and excited voice sounded. Then, the door was pushed open, and Zhao Yunqi ran towards them happily. Boom! In that instant, the two of them felt as if they had been struck by lightning. Their eyes widened and their bodies trembled. Dad, Mom! Zhao Yunqi threw herself into their arms, and couldn't help but cry. She restrained herself in front of Lin Xian, because she didn't want to cry in front of him. But when she was in front of her parents, she wanted to hold back, because she didn't want to embarrass herself in front of Lin Xian. But when she saw them, she couldn't hold it in at all. She thought of how hard her parents had been all these years, and how they were always sad behind her back. She thought of how her mother always washed her face with tears, and all the grievances she had suffered all these years. My daughter, my daughter. Li Siyu trembled as she hugged Zhao Yunqi and cried. Zhao Tianque, who was next to her, was shocked and surprised. Then, he walked towards Lin Xian. Mr. Lin Xian, this? He asked in disbelief. Lin Xian smiled and said, I happen to know some medical skills in this area. It's related to goo. Then Lin Xian handed the small bottle to Zhao Tianque. Zhao Tianque took it. This is, Lin Xian said. It's this goo worm in Zhao Yunqi's body. It's because of this goo worm that she's in this situation. She'll naturally recover after the goo worm is taken out. Zhao Tianque looked at the small bottle in disbelief. It was this little worm that harmed his daughter Thump. In the next moment, Zhao Tianque directly knelt down in front of Lin Xian. Hey, don't! Lin Xian quickly helped him up. Mr. Zhao, why do you have to do this? Lin Xian said. Mr. Lin Xian, I only have one daughter in my life. My daughter's situation is my only regret. I thought that she could only be like this for the rest of her life. I didn't expect that because of Mr. Lin Xian's kindness, you're a great benefactor to my Zhao family and to me. Zhao Tianque said emotionally. Lin Xian shook his head and said, "It's just a small matter. It's fate that brought us together. It just so happens that I know some things in this area." Li Siyu wiped her tears and walked towards Lin Xian. "Mr. Lin Xian, thank you. I'm really grateful to you. A drop of water should be repaid with a gushing spring. If you have any requests, as long as our Zhao family can do it, we'll do our best." "That's right." Zhao Tianque also nodded. "I don't have any requests. I came here because I heard that there's a little fan who worships me. Then I came to take a look. I really don't have any requests." Lin Xian shrugged and said. They looked at each other. "Chi-Chi's mom, hurry up and buy ingredients to cook. Today, I want to drink with Mr. Lin Xian until we're drunk." Zhao Tianque said excitedly. Okay. I'll go right away." Then, Li Siyu kissed her daughter and hurried out. For the Zhao family, today was undoubtedly their most exciting and happy day. "Lin Xian, thank you so much. I never thought that one day I would change for the better." Zhao Yunqi looked at Lin Xian gratefully. "You, don't foolishly send gifts at night anymore. It's fine if you send more than 100 million at once." Lin Xian smiled helplessly. Zhao Yunqi couldn't help but blush. "Mr. Lin Xian, this goo?" Zhao Tianque asked carefully. "This should be a goo worm that someone specially planted on her. My suggestion is that if you want to investigate, you should investigate the Zhao family's competitors. 7 or 8 years ago, you might have been friends with each other or something. Of course, it's almost impossible to investigate this matter. I won't get involved in this matter," Lin Xian said. Zhao Tianque nodded. Chapter 1106. Zhao Tianque's gratitude to Lin Xian was indescribable. If he was given a choice to give up everything in exchange for his daughter's safety, he would definitely choose without hesitation. But today a young man came. He didn't do anything and cured his daughter. He didn't feel glad that he didn't do anything. He just felt that he was really lucky. Before this, Zhao Tianque didn't believe in the so-called good will be rewarded with good and evil with evil. He hadn't done anything bad in his life. Instead, he let his daughter fall into such a situation. Could it be that good will be rewarded with evil? Could bad people really live for 1,000 years? It wasn't until Lin Xian appeared and cured his daughter that he began to truly believe that good people would be rewarded. Zhao Yunqi was really happy and excited. Lin Xian was really her lucky angel. "Lin Xian, I don't know if you like this tea." Zhao Tianque poured a cup of tea for Lin Xian and said, "I don't know much about tea. I usually drink plain water." Lin Xian brought it over. Ha, maybe it's because I'm old. I like to make tea when I'm old." Zhao Tianque laughed heartily. He was in a very good mood. Lin Xian then took a sip. "As expected, you still like to drink drinks." Lin Xian laughed. "I'll go get it for you." No need. I'm just kidding." Lin Xian laughed. "I have more. I'll go get it." Zhao Yunqi thought of something, then got up and ran to her room. Zhao Tianque looked at Zhao Yunqi's back and couldn't help but sigh. "Her mother and I fantasize about this scene every day. It's all thanks to the two of you helping her move her muscles every day. Otherwise, her legs would definitely be crippled." Lin Xian said. "It's useless. If Mr. Lin Xian didn't come, everything would be useless." Then, Zhao Tianque looked at Lin Xian and said, "About the matter you mentioned, I have a rough idea of which family it is. I definitely won't let them off. Don't be impulsive. Don't worry, I'm not young anymore. Naturally, I won't be impulsive. I just don't know how to repay Mr. Lin Xian." Zhao Tianque looked at Lin Xian and asked. This favor was really too big. "How about giving Zhao Yunqi to me?" Lin Xian asked tentatively. "Zhao Tianque?" He was stunned for a moment, then said tentatively, "I don't have any objections. Chi-Chi seems to like you very much. You have a great influence on her. And you're not that old. I think it's very suitable, but, Lin Xian." "No, I'm saying that Zhao Yunqi is a genius. She has invented many useful things. And the Yixian group is in this field. The Yixian group may have wider channels and fame, as well as the channels of the 3 major forces. As long as Zhao Yunqi invents something good, it will definitely become a phenomenal product. So, Zhao Tianque was stunned. So that was what he meant. Of course, there's no problem. My Zhao family has already entered a period of stability, and this incident made me understand that no matter how rich you are, there are some things that you can't do anything about. Qiqi does have some accomplishments in this field. If she can shine, it's naturally better. It's just that the Yixian group doesn't lack money, right? Lin Xian smiled. Who doesn't want more money, right? That's true. Zhao Tianque pondered for a moment. He felt that Lin Xian wasn't such a vulgar person. The key is that the Yixian group has a plan for the next step. The plan may require more than a few $1 trillion. This amount of money is not something the Yixian group can take out in a short period of time. However, if they can produce a few good products in a short period of time, they can still speed up, Lin Xian said. Zhao Tianque. What plan would require a few $1 trillion? A few billion was normal, but a few trillion, he was the head of the Zhao family. Lin Xian's words still shocked him. If it was someone else, he would definitely think that they were bragging. However, Lin Xian made him believe in this person. After all, he previously thought that he could cure Zhao Yunqi as a boast. However, he really did it. Only then did he understand that he had misjudged him. Now his words were also a fantasy. However, the Yixian group did indeed have the capital to do so. Forgive me for asking, but what would require a few $100 million? Zhao Tianque didn't want to ask, but he was still too shocked. I want to turn Lin and city into my territory, Lin Xian said. Zhao Tianque. He was completely dumbfounded. Wasn't this too exaggerated? But I don't think this is a good choice. Lin and city is close to the territory of demonic beasts. The risk is too great. Zhao Tianque said. He believed that it was impossible for them not to know such a simple thing. We've already considered this. Without a certain degree of certainty, we wouldn't make such a choice. These people would probably never imagine that Lin Xian was acquainted with the demon god in charge of this area of Lin and city. Alright, if that's the case, I have no problem with it. I believe Qiqi is also very willing. Zhao Tianque said. At this time, Zhao Yunqi jogged out of the room. Lin Xian here. She handed Lin Xian a bottle of sweet crooked wine. Lin Xian. It's very delicious. This is my favorite drink. Zhao Yunqi said with a slightly red face. I also quite like to drink it. Lin Xian smiled and took a sip. Zhao Yunqi smiled happily. After a while, Li Siyu quickly walked in with a lot of ingredients. I'll go cook. You guys take your time to chat. She looked at her obedient daughter longingly. Mom, I'll help you. Zhao Yunqi ran over. Girl, you've never cooked since you were young. You should rest. No, I haven't exercised in a long time. Mom, let me exercise a bit. Lin Xian stood up and said. Why don't I help too? Zhao Tianque and Li Siyu were both surprised and hurriedly said. No, you've helped us so much. You're also a guest. How can you? Lin Xian smiled and said. It's fine. I also like to cook. I'll show you my skills. Zhao Yunqi looked at Lin Xian in surprise. This person could write songs, have medical skills, and even cook? Heavens! Zhao Tianque and Li Siyu looked at each other. They were really embarrassed to let Lin Xian cook, but Lin Xian had already put on an apron. I'll just make 2 dishes for this little fan of mine to try. Lin Xian glanced at Zhao Yunqi and said with a smile. Whoosh! Her little face instantly turned red again. Alright. Then they were very surprised. Seeing Lin Xian's skillful operation, they knew that this person really knew how to cook. He really cooked often. Chapter 1107. Soon a table full of dishes was ready. Lin Xian didn't cook much, only 4. Li Siyu made more than 10. Lin Xian sincerely said that she didn't need to cook so much, but she was still very active. Come, Lin Xian. Zhao Tianque poured a glass of wine for Lin Xian. I won't drink too much. 1 glass is enough. If you want to get drunk, Uncle Zhao, you can do it yourself. Lin Xian smiled. Ha, okay. Zhao Tianque must get drunk today. He was in a good mood. Come, Qiqi. Li Siyu added a piece of meat for Zhao Yunqi. I want to try Lin Xian's cooking first. Zhao Yunqi said straightforwardly. You little girl. Li Siyu looked at her daughter with a smile. Nothing had happened yet, but she was already siding with an outsider. Zhao Yunqi's pretty face immediately turned red. She really didn't think too much before blurting it out. Then, she secretly glanced at Lin Xian. When she saw that Lin Xian didn't say anything, she let out a sigh of relief. Then, she picked up a piece of Lin Xian's red braised pork and put it into her mouth. Oh, she couldn't help but be surprised. Was it because she was in a good mood after her body recovered? Why did she feel that it was so delicious? How is it? Lin Xian asked with a smile. It's delicious, very, very delicious. Zhao Yunqi couldn't help but pick up another piece. It's so delicious. Li Siyu looked at her daughter in confusion. She often made red braised pork for her. It was a classic home-cooked dish, but she didn't hear her daughter praise it so much. Was it because of Lin Xian? Zhao Tianhua also tried Lin Xian's dishes. It's really delicious. Zhao Tianhua's eyes also lit up. Then he said to Li Siyu, it's really better than yours. Li Siyu only felt that they were flattering Lin Xian. She cooked every day. How could she lose to Lin Xian? Let me try. Then Li Siyu also took a bite. She had lost, it was really delicious. I didn't expect Lin Xian to have such amazing culinary skills. Li Siyu said in surprise. I usually do a lot of work, so I just studied it a little. It's really delicious. Zhao Yunqi couldn't help but ask. Then eat more. Look at how thin you are. Lin Xian said with a smile. Zhao Yunqi was indeed very thin. Although she could not exercise, her appetite was not good, and she was in a bad mood. It was normal for her to become thinner. The meal was over very quickly. It was very exaggerated. Almost all the dishes on the table were finished, and even the soup was finished. Lin Xian and Zhao Yunqi ate a lot, but the one who ate the most was actually Zhao Tianhua. He drank quite a lot, but it was a pity that there was one less person to compete with him in drinking. However, he was in such a good mood that he drank until he lost consciousness. Li Siyu helped him into the room. Lin Xian, your cooking is really delicious. Zhao Yunqi touched her protruding belly and looked at Lin Xian in surprise. Then I'll cook for you in the future, Lin Xian said. Then, she thought of something and showed a disappointed expression. In the future, would there be another chance? I'll go back in a bit, Lin Xian said to her. Zhao Yunqi looked at Lin Xian with reluctance. Got it. Then, she suddenly thought of something and asked Lin Xian expectantly. Can I look for you in the future? Of course, Lin Xian said with a smile. Really? Lin Xian nodded. I talked to your father. If you want, you can go to Lin City. He said that you want to cultivate and become a martial artist. If you want, you can come to Lin City. There are many friends there. Of course, Zhao Yunqi said impatiently. Then, she thought for a while and said, but I want to stay here for a while to accompany mom and dad. Of course, no problem. When the time comes, you have to help my Art Xian group invent some good things, and help me earn a lot of money. However, cultivation still comes first. Study at St. Brilliance Academy first. Then, I'll ask my friends to take you to the demonic beast domain to improve your realm, Lin Xian said with a smile. I'll work hard. Lin Xian nodded. Zhao Yunqi's attitude meant that she would not be mediocre. Right, will you be able to see an Xian then? Zhao Yunqi asked. She liked Lin Xian. Of course, she also liked an Xian very much. She probably won't leave for the time being. You should be able to see her. In the afternoon, Li Siyu and Zhao Yunqi sent Lin Xian to the airport. I'm leaving. See you later. Lin Xian waved at Zhao Yunqi. I'll come find you soon, Zhao Yunqi shouted. Lin Xian nodded and walked away. Zhao Yunqi kept looking at Lin Xian until his figure disappeared. Then she looked back, her little face full of reluctance and disappointment. What's wrong? You like him? Li Siyu asked with a smile as she pulled her daughter into her arms. Zhao Yunqi's pretty face suddenly turned red. No, you're my daughter. How can I, as a mother, not understand my daughter's thoughts? If you like him, then go after him boldly. He's indeed very outstanding. I also like him very much. I have the urge to be his mother-in-law. Work hard, baby. Zhao Yunqi looked up at Li Siyu. I'll work hard. Go home first. Grandpa and the others know about your situation, and will be here soon. Your grandparents are so happy. After this period of time passes, you can go to Lin and City. Mom will accompany you. Lin Xian also sighed. His luck with women seemed to be quite good. He didn't deliberately get close to a beautiful girl. Instead, it was the beautiful girl who got close to him. This Zhao Yunqi was probably his. There was no hurry. Lin Xian really liked this girl. She was gentle and weak, with a kind of sickly gentleness. However, her heart was very strong. The key was that she was beautiful. After returning to Lin and City, Lin Xian had nothing to do. He went shopping with Linya, had a meal, and then went to the martial arts academy in the evening. In the 10th Demon God Temple, Yiren Bing was lying on the bed when her beautiful eyes suddenly opened. She felt that something was wrong the entire day. Then she fell asleep during the day. When she suddenly felt something, she opened her eyes. Yiren Bing slowly sat up, her brows furrowed. She could clearly feel that there was an additional life in her stomach. Then, she closed her eyes and carefully felt it. After a long time, Yiren Bing opened her beautiful eyes. She was pregnant. No wonder she was so tired the whole day. Dragons were different from other races. When dragons were pregnant, the baby would absorb a lot of the mother's energy and strength. This was also why dragons were born strong. Dragons' babies were much weaker than other races when they were born. Yiren Bing sat there in a daze. She was actually pregnant. Chapter 1108. As a woman, she had the rare bloodline of the Dark Knight Shadow Dragon. She had to inherit the bloodline of the Dark Knight Shadow Dragon. But when the day came, could she accept it? All kinds of emotions surged up. First, she was going to be a mother. Second, how did she get pregnant? Third, damn, she was pregnant with a human's child. Fourth, didn't she just F*** K a few times? How did she get pregnant? Even if she could sense the existence of life, it would take at least half a month. Didn't that mean that she had already been pregnant with Lin Xian a few times? If Lin Xian knew about this, he would definitely be upset. Damn, didn't they say that dragons were a race that was extremely difficult to breed? How did he become the father of 2 children? Lin Xian would definitely doubt his life. This man would also be very melancholic as a father. All kinds of emotions. When Linglong Shui was pregnant, Lin Xian would definitely be the same. But at that time, he was more focused on pursuing Linglong Shui, so it might be slightly better. Yiren Bing hurriedly got up. She didn't want this child. As a mother, how could she bear to? Also, it was extremely difficult to breed dragons. If she didn't want it this time, who knew when the next time would be? But if she wanted it, the father of the child was a human, and was pitifully weak. Would the child's bloodline be good? More importantly, that Lin Xian would be the child's father. Did she have to serve this Lin Xian? She, a demon god, had to serve a lowly human? But she kept pacing around the room. She was in a mess. Whoosh! In the next instant, her figure disappeared from the spot. She was a little messed up. She had never messed up in her life. But this time, Linglong Shui and the other 2 sat on the sofa, watching television, eating snacks and chatting. They had been living very comfortably these days. The happiest thing was that they didn't have to worry about gaining weight. After all, they weren't ordinary people. Linglong Yu was the happiest. Sister, how long will it take for your baby to be born? Linglong Shui drank the yogurt and glanced at Linglong Shui's stomach. By now, Linglong Shui's protruding belly had become more obvious. About half a year. Linglong Shui subconsciously touched her belly. To be honest, she was really looking forward to the birth of her child. But at the same time, she was not looking forward to it because the closer it was to that day, the closer she was to leaving. Shua. Yiren Bing's figure suddenly appeared in front of them. Linglong Shui and the other 2 looked over. He was quite puzzled, but he had never seen her with her hair disheveled. He had seen her in pajamas many times, but there was something wrong with her disheveled hair. Yiren Bing had just woken up. She hadn't even combed her hair before coming over. She must be a little messy. Did something happen? Linglong Shui glanced at her and asked. And nothing happened. Yiren Bing sat on the sofa. Linglong Shui looked at her again, and felt that something was wrong. Do you want some tea? Bing Lingyue asked. No thank you. Yi Renbing shook her head and looked at Linglong Shue's belly. Then she reached out and touched it. 3 months. Linglong Shue nodded. Pretty good. Yi Renbing said lightly. What do you want to say? Linglong Shue asked. There was something wrong with this woman. Nothing. Yi Renbing shook her head. Then she added nothing. Linglong Shue knew that there must be something. This was not in this woman's character. She was hemming and hawing. Yi Renbing was going crazy. This was her? Linglong Shue kept looking at her. All right. Seeing Linglong Shue's gaze, Yi Renbing shrugged and leaned on the sofa. I'm pregnant. Linglong Shue. Bing Lingyue. Linglong Shue. All right, this was indeed a big news. Is it Lin Xian's? Linglong Shue asked. Nonsense, I'm not the kind of person who doesn't keep myself clean. However, I find it strange, why would I? Linglong Shue felt the same way. Wasn't she the same? The Void Fox was also a top bloodline race. How could it be so easy to get pregnant? She felt that her pregnancy was purely a coincidence. But now that Yi Renbing was pregnant, it was not a coincidence. There was a bloodline theory in the mainland. Especially for the demon race. The higher the bloodline of the demon race, the harder it was to pass down the bloodline. Otherwise, if the demon race was already so strong, if their reproductive ability was outstanding, then in time, such a race would be able to rule the mainland. Perhaps it was because of the law of competition. God gave you a strong evil power, but took away your chances of reproduction. However, if two people with similar bloodlines had a higher bloodline, then the chances of them being shot would be higher. But Lin Xian was a human. Although humans were the most powerful beings, their bloodline was nothing compared to the Night Shadow Dragon and the Void Fox. This Lin Xian could actually. Then what are your plans? Linglong Shue asked. I'm so annoyed. Where's Lin Xian? I want to kill him. Yi Renbing gritted her teeth. Linglong Shue leaned slightly on the sofa. I don't know. She then shook her head. Bastard. Then give birth to the child like Linglong. After all, the child is a life. Besides, it's not easy for dragons to give birth. Bing Lingyue said to Yi Renbing. I know. I'm just very annoyed. Of course, she couldn't bear to give up the child. After all, it was her child. She was just a little shocked. More importantly, she was annoyed. Damn it. Not only is my man a human, but she's pregnant with his child. She wanted to strangle him. Should we tell him? Linglong Shue asked. Where is he? Yi Renbing took out her phone and sent a message to Lin Xian. Lin Xian was completely dumbfounded. Holy F***ck. Did someone else pick up Yi Renbing's phone? What? Lin Xian sent a message over with a dumbfounded expression. I'm going to die. Yi Renbing sent a message over. Lin Xian was confused. What the hell? This woman hasn't had sex for 2 days, and she's already so thirsty. No, you have to give me a reason. Lin Xian sent a message over. Anyway, I'm going to die. Lin Xian was speechless. Is this Yi Renbing? Who the hell are you? Get out of her body for this daddy. Okay. I'm going to die. I'm going to die. I'm having a night class at the Martial God Academy. I won't chat with you anymore. Goodbye. Lin Xian shook his head and watched Xiao Runing teach. The Martial Arts Academy also had night classes. Then Lin Xian's phone vibrated again. He received a message from Linglong Shue. Yi Renbing is pregnant, boom. Lin Xian's phone fell to the ground. Chapter 1109. Murongyu, who was in the same class as Lin Xian, looked at Lin Xian in surprise. What's going on? What's so big that he's so shocked? What's wrong? She still asked. Lin Xian came back to his senses and picked up his phone. Nothing, my phone is leaking electricity. Murongyu. Lin Xian really wanted to cry. He's going to be a father again. No. Didn't you guys say that it's hard for girls with these bloodlines to get pregnant? How did she get pregnant? Aha. It's so uncomfortable. Of course, it's not because he's feeling, but because he's already the father of 2 children at such a young age. Once the children are born, it's as if I'm locked up in prison. No. How did both of them get pregnant? The reason why Linglong Shue wanted to tell Lin Xian was because this was a big matter, and Yi Renbing might not know how to bring it up for the time being. If Yi Renbing didn't know how to bring it up, then Linglong Shui would help her ask Lin Xian. To Linglong Shui, this might be a good thing. If Yi Renbing is pregnant, she might be able to take care of her child too. Yi Renbing's worries were no less than Lin Xian's. Lin Xian, are you free? I want to eat your delicious food. After the evening class, Lan Xingxing ran over to Lin Xian. I'm not free today. I have to go back to Lin City. Maybe next time. Lin Xian hurriedly left after he finished speaking. Oh, Lan Xingxing looked at Lin Xian's back and pouted. She really wants to eat delicious duck. I'll go back and make it for you. Morong Yu saw Lan Xingxing's aggrieved expression and shook her head helplessly. For some reason, she doted on this girl a lot. She wasn't young anymore, but she was so innocent and adorable that people couldn't help but want to take care of her. There's no need. The Martial Arts Academy sells a lot of things. I'll just buy some food. Lan Xingxing stuck out her pink tongue. In fact, she simply wanted to eat Lin Xian's cooking. Lin Xian returned to Lin City after class and went straight to Linglong Shui's place. At this moment, the four of them were playing PUBG together. Lin Xian opened the door. They were all wearing headphones, and none of them even looked at him. Lin Xian. It can't be right? This was Ling Longyue's idea. Since you guys are all frustrated, why don't you play games? It works. Cough cough. Lin Xian closed the door and coughed dryly. Several people looked over at the same time. I have a first aid kit here. Who wants it? Yi Renbing turned her head and said. The other three also turned their heads. I want it. Lin Xian. Hey. You can't ignore me like this. Lin Xian sat over. I'm not ignoring you. Bing Lingyue said. Die. Lin Xian sat there and said. Boom. At the same time, the four of them were in a car and were all killed by a bomb in the red zone. The four girls. I'm not playing anymore. I'm going to cook. Do you want to eat? Linglong Shui looked at Lin Xian and asked. Yes, I'll definitely eat. Then I'll go help. Bing Lingyue stood up. I'm not going. I want to watch the show. Ling Longyue said. Then, she saw Linglong Shui's gaze and coughed dryly. I'll go help too. Then the three girls walked into the kitchen together. Cough cough. Lin Xian coughed dryly and went to Yi Renbing's side. That, Lin Xian scratched his head. It was so awkward. It's not only my problem. Don't you think so? Lin Xian said awkwardly. Yi Renbing glanced at Lin Xian. What problem? It's about you being pregnant. What's wrong with that? Yi Renbing sneered. Lin Xian looked at her. Then what do you think? Lin Xian asked. Actually, for a man, if a girl was pregnant, the baby could be taken or not. Men might not be so reluctant. However, for a woman, especially a woman from the Devil clan, they would definitely be reluctant. Not to mention Lin Xian. Even if a woman from the Devil clan got pregnant after being raped by someone else, there was a very high chance that she would want to keep the baby. This was how a woman from the Devil clan was. Give birth to the baby. When I'm bored, I can play with the baby and teach him cultivation. Isn't that great? I won't have to look for a dog like you. Lin Xian. All right then. I respect your choice. Lin Xian nodded. As if you have the right to decide. Know your place. Lin Xian. All right. I was wrong, Lord Devil God. Lin Xian said bitterly. Yi Renbing snorted coldly. In front of Lin Xian, she was completely different from in front of Linglong Shui and the others. In front of Lin Xian, she was extremely arrogant. There was no helping it. Weren't these women all like that? I'm leaving first. Yi Renbing stood up and said. Linglong Shui walked out of the kitchen and asked. Not eating? No. After saying that, Yi Renbing glanced at Lin Xian and disappeared. She still had to go back and see what to do when a woman got pregnant. Although she had lived for so long, this was still her first time. Linglong Shui had become more and more homely in the Devil clan. Because of her pregnancy, sometimes she even spoke like the mistress of the house. Hey Xiao Linglong, didn't you say that it's hard for people with your bloodline to get pregnant? You're even afraid that you won't be able to reproduce in this lifetime? Why are you and Yi Renbing pregnant? Lin Xian asked bitterly. Ling Longyue had a huge opinion of Lin Xian. This person was too infuriating. Her sister, Sister Bing, and Yi Renbing were all so beautiful and outstanding. Why did they all fall into his hands? Why was that? He was really lucky. What are you snorting for? Let me tell you, the people around you are now my people. If you don't behave, I'll get them to beat you up. Lin Xian glared at Ling Longyue and said. You. Ling Longyue pointed at Lin Xian angrily, and then wrinkled her cute little nose. Humph. She snorted and stopped talking. Wow. Everyone around him seemed to have become his people. How infuriating. Shall Linglong go and rest? I'll cook for you. Lin Xian said and walked in. It's okay, you go and rest. Linglong Shui said indifferently. She really felt that she cared more and more about Lin Xian. Then let's eat together. Lin Xian said with a smile, and then pulled Bing Lingyue's hand. Bing Lingyue's beautiful face blushed slightly. Wow, this queen blushing was really beautiful. Chapter 11:10. Lin Xian had always wanted to take Bing Lingyue down. However, he was still one step away from getting the heaven-ranked martial skill reward. However, Lin Xian didn't want to push her down just like that. Although Lin Xian felt that it would be easy for him to push Bing Lingyue down. Bing Lingyue had a strange feeling. Linglong Shui was here, and it felt weird for her to be flirting with Lin Xian. Humph. You guys go ahead. I'm going out. Linglong Shui saw Lin Xian flirting with Bing Lingyue, and was about to explode. She was so angry. Wasn't it enough to have her sister? She was even here. How dare you flirt with Sister Bing? She didn't want to watch anymore. After saying that, she walked over. It's good that you're going out. You don't have to be a third wheel. Lin Xian said with a grin. Linglong Shui staggered. Ah, she wanted to bite him to death. I'll do it. You and Lingyue can go out and rest. Linglong Shui glanced at them and said calmly. She really wanted Lin Xian and Bing Lingyue to take a step forward. We'll help, Lin Xian said. Bing Lingyue nodded. Then Lin Xian moved behind Linglong Shui and reached out to touch her stomach. It was getting bigger. Xiao Linglong, do you want to go to the hospital tomorrow? Lin Xian asked. Why? Linglong Shui looked at Lin Xian curiously. It's 3 months now. We can tell if the baby is a boy or a girl. Lin Xian said. Linglong Shui's eyes lit up when she heard Lin Xian's words. To be honest, she was also looking forward to seeing if the baby was a boy or a girl. Okay. Linglong Shui nodded. Lin Xian was also looking forward to it. He hoped that it would be a girl, because Lin Xian liked girls. Thinking about it, an especially pretty, cute, and adorable little girl swaying and asking for a hug. Oh my God, he couldn't take it. Linglong Shui hoped that it would be a boy. Perhaps every girl in the Goblin clan hoped that it would be a boy, because they felt that boys could support the heavens and become great heroes. Moreover, boys could better continue the family line of the man. She felt that the man should also like girls. But Lin Xian really didn't favor boys over girls. Instead, he felt that girls were better. Daughters were their father's intimate little cotton-padded jackets. Although Ling Longyue was very unhappy that this pig Lin Xian had taken away her sister, she was also looking forward to the birth of the baby. That way, she wouldn't be the youngest in the family anymore. Soon, they made a few simple yet delicious home-cooked dishes. The few of them ate happily together. It was already late when they finished eating, because it was already 8 o'clock when Lin Xian arrived. After cooking, it would be 9 o'clock. After eating, cleaning up, and chatting, wouldn't it be 10 o'clock? Aren't you going to the martial arts academy? Linglong Shui asked Lin Xian. Class is over, and we're all here. Why should I go to the martial arts academy? Lin Xian said with a smile as he hugged Linglong Shui. Ling Longyue glanced at him. Ah! She was so angry. Now Lin Xian could even take advantage of her sister in front of her. She was so angry, so angry. I'm going back to my room. Ling Longyue pouted and went back to her room angrily. I'm going back too. Bing Lingyue said and went back to her room. Aya, let's go to sleep too. Lin Xian kissed Linglong Shui's pink cheeks and said. Linglong Shui looked at Bing Lingyue's back and said to Lin Xian. Go and find Lingyu. Lin Xian shook his head and said. No, I can bully Bing Bing anytime. But you after today, I won't be able to bully you. Linglong Shui frowned and looked at Lin Xian. No. She shook her head. Why sob sob sob? You've rejected me so many times. Lin Xian said, feeling wronged. The last time I went to the hospital, the doctor said it's best not to have sex. Ling Longshui said. It's fine if I'm 3 months pregnant. It'll be fine if I don't do it. Let's go, let's go. Trust me. The doctor said it's best not to have sex, right? Lin Xian then pulled Ling Longshui's hand. Damn, it had been a long time since he touched Ling Longshui. This girl was too beautiful. Lin Xian couldn't help it. Indeed, it wasn't good to do that after 3 months of pregnancy, but that didn't mean that it was impossible. It was still possible after 3 months. One had to pay attention to their posture and the intensity. After that, it wouldn't be too good. Lin Xian knew about this. He had done his research. Ling Longshui. Let's go, let's go. No. Ling Longshui shook her head. I just wanted to say hello to the baby in advance. You didn't let me. I'm so pitiful. Lin Xian then said with a wronged expression. Ling Longshui. I just want to go in and say hello to the baby. Ling Longshui. Let's go, let's go. Then Lin Xian brought Ling Longshui, who was half unwilling and half willing, to her fragrant room. Lin Xian was right. If he didn't do it today, he wouldn't be able to touch Ling Longshui for the next 6 months. If he wanted to do it, he had to do it tonight. As for Bing Lingyue, there was no rush. She could do it anytime. Ling Longshui was still a soft-hearted person. Baby, Daddy is coming to see you. Lin Xian's lips curled up. The next morning, Lin Xian opened his eyes and looked at the fairy-like Ling Longshui in his arms. Lin Xian sighed inwardly. Did he save the Milky Way galaxy in his previous life? With so many beautiful goddesses by his side, he reckoned that he must have saved the Milky Way galaxy. Bing Lingyue had just woken up in her room. She was actually looking forward to Lin Xian coming to her room, but Lin Xian didn't. To be honest, she was a little disappointed, but it was nothing. She knew that Ling Longshui was Lin Xian's favorite. She wasn't jealous. Perhaps they all subconsciously thought that it was normal for a man to have multiple wives. In the era that Bing Lingyue lived in, all capable men had multiple wives and concubines. The concept was deeply ingrained. The most amazing thing about Lin Xian wasn't that he had multiple wives and concubines. It was that the girls around him got along very well. Although they didn't know that the girls around him were Lin Xian's women, there were bound to be some who knew and some who guessed. However, they didn't say anything. Look at Ling Ying and Han Chuxue, 2 modern goddesses. Monogamy was deeply ingrained in them, and they were both very good girls. However, to what extent did they compromise for Lin Xian? This was something that Lin Xian didn't expect. Therefore, Lin Xian was really a very happy and lucky person. Ling Longshui might have felt Lin Xian's naughty hands. Her long eyelashes trembled slightly, and then she opened her beautiful eyes. You're awake. Lin Xian couldn't help but kiss her. Chapter 11:11. It was blissful. To be honest, from the first time Lin Xian met Ling Longshui, he never thought that such a day would come. Even after meeting her, Ling Longshui hated him so much that she wanted to kill him. But now, she was nestled in his arms. It was so comfortable. Ling Longshui blushed slightly and tried to get up. Don't get up, Lin Xian said with a smile. Ling Longshui looked at Lin Xian in surprise. Lin Xian then whispered something in her ear. Her face instantly turned red. No, Ling Longshui refused. Don't. Be good, Lin Xian said softly. Ling Longshui then rolled her eyes at Lin Xian and slowly went in. More than an hour later, they walked out of the house together. Dragoni was sleeping at home. According to Ling Longshui, she's very sleepy these days, even eating less than before. Sometimes she'll sleep for days at a time, but she's getting better and better. Ling Longshui wore more clothes. The weather was quite cold, so it was fine to wear more clothes. The other girls except Ling Longshui were all wearing masks and berets. The main thing was that they were too beautiful. Lin Xian felt that if they went out like this, especially when he was beside them, something bad would happen. Moreover, Ling Longshui and Bing Lingyue appeared in the MV. Lin Xian also wore a mask. Wearing a mask wasn't a big deal. Many people on the road wore it. As for Ling Longyu, she was very beautiful but she looked young. So even though she was very beautiful, she couldn't be compared to women like Ling Longshui and Bing Lingyue. Moreover, This girl didn't like wearing a mask. The few of them went to the hospital together. After the examination, they waited for the notification. The notification came quickly. Lin Xian was looking forward to it. Ling Longshui was also looking forward to it. Ling Longshui's family, come and get the report. I'll go. Lin Xian then ran over and looked at it as he walked over. How is it? Ling Longshui asked with anticipation. Do you want a boy or a girl? Lin Xian smiled and asked Ling Longshui. A boy. Ling Longshui said. Why? Lin Xian asked curiously. Because a boy can be indomitable. Girls can do it too. Aren't they as indomitable as you? Lin Xian laughed. A girl? Lin Xian nodded. Yes, a girl. Ling Longshui caressed her lower abdomen. I hope it's a girl, Lin Xian said with a smile. Why? Ling Longshui asked curiously. Shouldn't a boy want a boy? A girl is beautiful and cute. She's her father's sweet little jacket. Look at how beautiful you are. When the time comes, our daughter will be super beautiful too. When the time comes, you can teach her how to cultivate, and I'll teach her how to recognize a scumbag. How nice. Lin Xian laughed. Okay. Ling Longshui nodded slightly. She was actually very happy. It turned out that he liked girls. I don't think you need to teach her how to recognize a scumbag. Ling Longshui leaned against the wall and said. Why? Lin Xian asked. Let her see you and she'll know what a scumbag is. Lin Xian. Wow. This girl's words hurt his heart. I'm not a scumbag. Bah. You're still not admitting it. Ling Longshui spat. Okay. Let's go home. I'll cook for you guys. Lin Xian made lunch for them and went to the martial arts academy. Today's class was in the afternoon. Lin Xian realized that he liked military classes. It was not only because the instructor was Xiao Runing, but also because he was interested in military classes. In the martial arts academy, Lin Xian could be challenged again today. Therefore, the first thing Lin Xian did after class was to rush to the 99th peak. Because Lin Xian was on the 100th peak, the 10,000 people in the front yard could directly challenge the 100th to 108th peaks. Therefore, as long as Lin Xian was on the 90th peak, they could not directly challenge him. At that time, only the person on the 100th peak could challenge him. If Lin Xian was on the 97th peak, then only the people on the 98th, 99th, and 100th peaks could challenge him. Of course, they could only compete for the ownership of each peak. However, the outside world could still challenge him. It was just that even if they succeeded in the challenge, they would not be able to obtain Lin Xian's peak, only Lin Xian's ranking. Lin Xian returned to the backyard and prepared to pack up his things on the 100th peak. Then, when he went up, he saw 1,000 or 2,000 people waiting for him. These challengers could enter the 100th to 108th peaks to challenge, but they could only stay in that small area. Otherwise, wouldn't it be a mess? He did not even feel safe sleeping in his room. Lin Xian saw this scene and felt uncomfortable. This King. I say, what are you guys doing? These people knew that Lin Xian might challenge the 90th peak. As long as Lin Xian entered the 90th peak, they would not be able to challenge him. Although Lin Xian was no longer on the 108th peak, more people wanted to challenge Lin Xian because they were unhappy with him. Why did he have such a good relationship with the school beauties? Why? Then I'll target you and defeat you. There were not many reasons. Lin Xian saw this scene and felt helpless. Since they were all here and they wanted to challenge Lin Xian could not reject them. Therefore, he had to finish 5 rounds today before he could leave and challenge others. Lin Xian, we are all here to challenge you. A person pointed at Lin Xian and said, I know, who wants to challenge me? Lin Xian walked in and picked up an orange from the stone table in the yard. He said while peeling it, Me. Let me go first. I'm here first. Those people started to compete again. Hey, look at you guys. So many people challenge me every day. What do you want me to do? Lin Xian shrugged helplessly and said, Last time when I asked those people to pay to challenge me, you guys said that I was black-hearted and that I cheated you of your money. Look at how I choose now. Who do I choose? Randomly? I choose randomly. Those who are not chosen are unhappy and unhappy. How about this? More than 1,000 of you will fight among yourselves. Whoever wins will challenge me in the top 5. How about that? Of course we can't. How can we challenge you when we're done and our spiritual energy is exhausted? Moreover, there are so many people here. Who knows when we will fight? Besides, there will be new challengers coming one after another. Someone said. Yes, definitely not. Those people discussed animatedly. Well, then what do? Then pay up. If you are willing, pay up. If you are not, please withdraw. Unless you give me another way. Lin Xian said. Okay. Pay up then. Pay up then. One had to know that this was a group of arrogant young masters. Although they heard that Lin Xian had defeated a domain realm cultivator, none of them were convinced. They all felt that they were not ordinary people, and had the ability to fight above their level. Why couldn't they do the same? Therefore, the number of challengers did not decrease, just because Lin Xian defeated a domain realm cultivator. Chapter 11-12. After that, there was nothing much to say. Lin Xian was the kind of person who made others think that they could beat him. However, 5 of them were defeated by Lin Xian. After 5 rounds, Lin Xian directly called it a day. Although he could make money, he was afraid that it would not be easy to make money in the future. After the first time, and the second time, people would definitely suspect that Lin Xian was pretending to be weak. Lin Xian did not care. He did not want to be annoyed. He directly went to the 90th peak. The 90th peak was not easy to be, because if one wanted to advance to the 80th peak from the 91st to the 99th peak, the 91st peak must belong to one. Only by reaching the 90th peak would one be qualified to challenge the 80th or 80th peak. Even if one was the 91st peak, one would have to defeat the person on the 90th peak before one could challenge the 80th peak. Lin Xian thought that he wanted to be in the top few. Although he did not need to do so now because it was too high profile, he would have to slowly challenge and advance bit by bit. That would take a lot of time, so he might as well challenge now. When he arrived at the 90th peak, Lin Xian saw Wang Xintong. This girl was waiting behind a person. That person was competing with another person. This person was definitely in the 90th peak. He was definitely going to charge into the 80th peak. Lin Xian. Wang Xintong saw Lin Xian and revealed a happy expression. She ran in front of Lin Xian. You want to challenge too? Lin Xian pinched her pink cheeks and smiled. Anyway, there was no one around to watch, except for the 2 people who were competing. They were in full swing, and did not have the time to watch them. Wang Xintong nodded. Then you go ahead. Wang Xintong said to Lin Xian. Forget it. If you want to challenge, then you do it. I will challenge the 91st peak. Lin Xian smiled and said. There's no need for that. You do it. Besides, I may not necessarily win. Even if I win, I may not necessarily win against over 80 mountains. Wang Xintong stuck out her tongue. All right then, I'll challenge the 80th peak after I'm done, Lin Xian said. All right, Wang Xintong nodded. If this person lost to Lin Xian, then he would directly go to Lin Xian's 100th peak. If Lin Xian successfully challenged the 80th peak, then the 80th peak would belong to the 90th peak. However, Lin Xian trusted Wang Xintong. The difference in strength between the 80th, and 90th peaks was actually very small. It depended more on one's performance and attributes. Although Wang Xintong had dual attributes of water and light, neither of which was a combat attribute, she was not weak. Therefore, when she defeated the 80th peak that Lin Xian successfully challenged, Lin Xian felt that it would not be a big problem. Since Wang Xintong wanted to challenge him so early, Lin Xian felt that she was also very confident in herself. The 2 people in front of him finished their challenges quickly. The person who came to challenge failed. Zhao Long glanced at Lin Xian and Wang Xintong, then said indifferently, Which one of you wants to challenge me? Not resting? Lin Xian asked with a smirk. No need. All right. Lin Xian then jumped up. It's you, Lin Xian? The person looked at Lin Xian and narrowed his eyes. Oh, brother, you seem to be hostile towards me. Lin Xian asked with a smile. No. Zhao Long shook his head. Of course. He was Lan Xingxing's suitor. This bastard was actually so close to Lan Xingxing, and even went to her dormitory. How could he not be hostile? That's good. Are you sure you don't want to rest? Lin Xian asked with a smile. No need. Xiaolong's fire attribute energy surged. Come on. Lin Xian shrugged. This Xiaolong's strength was still at the one-star domain realm. In the martial arts academy, he was naturally above average. However, it was still the same saying. The truly powerful people in the martial arts academy were probably the top 30 peaks. The top 30 peaks were the elites of the elites. The people behind them were at most a little genius. To Lin Xian they were nothing. Lin Xian, you can do it. Wang Xintong was definitely Lin Xian's little fangirl. After all, beauty was in the eye of the beholder. Moreover, she knew that Lin Xian was very powerful. Xiaolong snorted coldly. Why? What was so different about this Lin Xian? Almost all of the top 10 school beauties on the ranking list had more or less interacted with him. Even a few of them came to watch his martial arts competition. This was a very important moment for a man. Which man didn't want to attract the attention of a few school beauties during their martial arts competition? However, Lin Xian actually did it. He couldn't understand. Hey brother, what are you thinking about? Let's fight. Lin Xian shouted. Come on. Xiaolong then looked at Lin Xian warily. Although he felt that he could win, he had heard that Lin Xian had defeated several domain realm martial artists who challenged him. Therefore, this Lin Xian was actually not weak. Ha! Following that, Xiaolong roared angrily. The entire martial arts arena was burning with flames. The flames quickly shrank, as if Lin Xian had become a turtle in a jar. Lin Xian naturally wouldn't reveal his full strength. However, he didn't want to waste time. If he could end the battle as soon as possible, then so be it. Spatial seal. Lin Xian stretched out his hand and clenched it slightly. Humph. You think you're the only one who can seal me? You're too young. Xiaolong snorted and suddenly punched the spatial barrier created by Lin Xian. However, he was shocked to find that he couldn't break this spatial barrier at all. How is this possible? You're at the domain realm. Xiaolong looked at Lin Xian in shock. To be honest, there was nothing shocking about a student at the martial arts academy being at the domain realm. However, for some reason, he felt that Lin Xian was at the domain realm. Lin Xian also felt very helpless. Was he weak? Why was he weak in the eyes of these people? He had defeated a domain realm martial artist time and time again in the eyes of others, as a law realm martial artist. Why was he still weak in the eyes of these people? He couldn't understand what these people were thinking. One-star domain realm. Don't think that you can win against me just because you're at the one-star domain realm and have the spatial attribute. This young master can easily shatter the spatial barrier created by a one-star domain realm martial artist. Ha! Then, he roared and released his fire attribute power with all his might, bombarding the spatial seal. There was a crack, but it didn't shatter. Lin Xian secretly shook his head. Under normal circumstances, as long as a martial artist was a so-called genius in the same realm, it would be relatively easy for them to break through some of the spatial or time restrictions. However, one mustn't forget that Lin Xian didn't have the normal spatial attribute. His spatial purity and proficiency were maxed out. Since ancient times, there had never been a human who had maxed out the spatial purity and proficiency. Therefore, if someone at the same realm wanted to break free from Lin Xian's spatial restrictions, the difficulty would definitely be extraordinary. I'll stop pretending. I'm going to lay my cards on the table. I'm not trash. Lin Xian's lips curled up. Chapter 11:13. Under Xiaolong's incredulous and unwilling gaze, Lin Xian blasted a space. Boom! The space was blasted apart, and then Xiaolong was blasted away in ragged clothes. Lin Xian still knew his limits. He only suffered some superficial wounds. After all, there was no enmity between them, and it was just a simple competition. There was no need to be so vicious. Wang Xintong looked at Lin Xian with her mouth slightly agape. Too powerful? They were both in the domain realm, but the opponent in the same realm couldn't resist at all. No, shouldn't they be evenly matched in the same realm? And this was a student of the Martial Arts Academy. They weren't simple. How could Lin Xian win so easily? Wasn't this too powerful? Actually, it was very simple. It was the space attribute. Did you think the space attribute was functional? That was a huge mistake. Yes, if you could easily break through the limitations of space or time, then these two attributes would only be a temporary restriction to you and wouldn't have much effect on the battle. However, if you couldn't break through, then these two attributes would be your eternal nightmare. Normally, there was a chance to break through in the same realm, but the chances were actually not high. Otherwise, space and time wouldn't be so powerful. But after all, this was the Martial Arts Academy, and everyone was an expert. So in the Martial Arts Academy, the chances of breaking through were very high. But Lin Xian was too monstrous. With full proficiency in purity, even if someone was 1 star higher than Lin Xian, it would be very difficult to break through easily. You had to be at least 2 stars higher than him. And if you couldn't break through, then you would be a turtle in a jar in the space barrier created by Lin Xian. It didn't matter if you had skills, laws, or domains. It would all be useless. You had the strength but couldn't use it. Zhao Long got up from the ground. How should he put it? He admitted that Lin Xian was stronger than him, but he refused to accept it, because he felt that Lin Xian only won because of the shamelessness of space. I'll get my revenge for this. Zhao Long tossed his badge to Lin Xian. At the same time, Lin Xian tossed his badge to Zhao Long. Then, Zhao Long snorted and walked away. Lin Xian was an expert. This was Zhao Long's thoughts. Yes, he wasn't convinced, but the space attribute that Lin Xian released was too strong. He had fought with space attribute martial artists before, but Lin Xian was at the same realm as him. Zhao Long didn't have the confidence to break through Lin Xian's space barrier. This was enough to prove that Lin Xian's attainments in space were very high. Perhaps his strength was not strong, but his space was very strong. In the face of the space attribute, once you are restricted by the power of space, you basically only have one chance to break through the space seal. If you can't break through this one chance, then the opponent will have enough time to use space explosion and other powers. Then I'll go challenge number 80. You just wait here for him. When he comes, you can challenge him directly, Lin Xian said to Wang Xintong. N. Wang Xintong nodded. Give me a kiss. Lin Xian smiled and moved his face closer. Wang Xintong's pretty face couldn't help but blush. Since she started dating Lin Xian, there had been very few ambiguous moments between them. She felt that Lin Xian didn't like her at all. So this time, when Lin Xian took the initiative to kiss her, she was actually very happy. Wang Xintong's little face was red. She tiptoed and kissed Lin Xian's cheek. Hee, let's go. Lin Xian then walked away. Lin Xian was qualified to challenge number 80. Wang Xintong wasn't, so Wang Xintong couldn't go there. Those who succeeded in the challenge could stop fighting for 2 days. Others couldn't challenge them, but if they lost, they could still be challenged by others. Lin Xian might return to Linen City after today's battle, because he still wanted to see Ziqiue. Ziqiue triggered a divine rank martial skill, so he was very much looking forward to it. However, she was a heavenly concubine. He didn't know if it would be easy to woo her. What if she was lonely? There was still Luo Chenxi. Heavenly concubine Ziqiue. Lin Xian might still have a chance. Perhaps Lin Xian had some interactions with her. After all, Lin Xian had written songs for her before, so they had some common topics to talk about. However, Luo Chenxi was an ex-science boss, and also a mature and beautiful woman. She was truly beautiful, but Lin Xian did not have any common topics to talk about with her. The only conversation they had was during the gala, and they had never spoken to each other again. This kind of situation was really too difficult to pursue. However, the mission reward that Luo Chenxi triggered made Lin Xian very excited. Top-notch domain. Lin Xian's law was the top-notch law of creation. The Blue Star's mission also had the law of destruction. What kind of powerful domain could a top-notch domain be? Lin Xian was of course looking forward to it. Lin Xian also wanted to have more interactions with them. If he had more interactions with them, he would be able to increase their favorability. However, they didn't give him a chance. For the time being, Ziqiue had a chance, but this Luo Chenxi had too few chances. He would see when the time came. Anyway, he had 3 months. If he couldn't complete it, he would spend the Adonis points to delay it. He had to quickly get Xiao Xinyue. As long as he got her, Lin Xian wouldn't have to spend the Adonis points to exchange for the chalcedony liquid. Therefore, Lin Xian decided that after meeting Ziqiyue, he would officially start to woo Xiao Xinyue. In fact, Xiao Xinyue was already halfway through. The rest was to take advantage of her. Her favorability towards Lin Xian was not low. It was close to 40. 50 favorability was the threshold for confessing, but it didn't mean that one had to reach 50 to confess. 40 favorability was basically at the level of trust. 10 minutes later, Lin Xian successfully took down the 80th peak. There wasn't much difficulty, and Lin Xian couldn't even feel the thrill of the battle. There was really no pressure at all. Lin Xian couldn't be said to be that amazing, but he was really invincible within the same realm. Fighting those 3 stars higher than him would be a little stressful. Only Tier 5 experts were the most difficult. It wasn't because Lin Xian's combat standards were outstanding, but because his cheats were too fierce. All the major attributes, powerful martial arts, full talent, full attribute purity. Just this full attribute purity. How many unimaginable things could he do? The news of Lin Xian's strength was also spread. This kind of news couldn't be hidden. Lin Xian didn't plan to hide it, but the things he revealed were very limited. Before, in the eyes of others, Lin Xian was just a piece of trash. Now they had to pay attention to Lin Xian. Those who were confident that they could defeat Lin Xian before were no longer so sure. After all, the space attribute was no joke. After all, it was said that Lin Xian defeated the person on the 80th peak in 10 seconds. They had no choice but to put away their previous contempt for Yi Shiwen. Chapter 11-14. After the challenge, Lin Xian went to Xiao Runing's class. He felt that he was very busy, but he also felt very fulfilled. He didn't even raise his realm during this period of time. But after all, he was in the Martial Arts Academy. The Martial Arts Academy had its own set of plans. They had their own guidelines for when to go out and when to do missions. The students didn't have to worry about these. Of course, if you wanted to go out to the beast domain, you could as long as you met the rules. Lin Xian could go, but Lin Xian didn't. The only place he went to was Yi Renbing's place. But now that Yi Renbing was also pregnant, Lin Xian had a headache. The headache was that he was now the father of 2 babies, but he was still hooking up with other girls all day long. But he had no choice but to hook up with them. The system's mission punishment was all kinds of shortening and disappearing. How could he withstand it? This is simply forcing you to do the quest. Although Lin Xian was actually quite happy while doing missions, he had to admit that. After all, they were all F*King beauties. As a man, how could he not be happy? The Art Xian group's continuous development was temporarily handed over to Morong Qing and Linya. When Zhao Yinqi returned, and with Miao Xiaomiao, these 2 girls could create unimaginable wealth for the Art Xian group. Next, I have something to say. Xiao Runing stood on the podium, her beautiful eyes sweeping over the crowd as she spoke. Lin Xian came back to his senses. Morong Yu glanced at Lin Xian again. He rarely zoned out. At most, he would stare at instructor Xiao Runing. Today, he seemed to be in a daze even without looking at her. In 3 days, our martial arts academy will hold our first mission, Xiao Runing said. Hearing Xiao Runing's words, the students were all excited. F*CK. I'm F*King bored to death in the martial arts academy. I finally have a mission. We can finally get out. I really envy those people in the backyard. They can go out of the martial arts academy as they please, just like us Sai. To be honest, it was an honor to enter the martial arts academy, but it really made many people here feel suffocated. They were all daughters or young masters of rich families. They were so happy outside, but when they came here, they couldn't fall in love without entering the backyard. Who the F*CK could stand this? Most importantly, he really couldn't enter and quit. Not many of them had the face to leave. Therefore, when they heard that they were going to be assigned a mission, of course they were excited. They could finally F*King go out. Going to the demonic beast domain was also a kind of luxury. Xiao Runing then said, "This time's mission is 1/5 of the school-level mission. That is to say, there will be 4,000 people doing this mission. Fortunately, our military class is in this 5th, but the other 4/5 of the students will be doing the mission one after another, so everyone is equal." Xiao Runing paused for a moment before continuing. "Tomorrow, our Martial God Academy's Martial God app will announce the missions. There may be hundreds of missions in total, with different sizes and difficulties. Everyone can choose the 3 missions that you like the most. Then the system will filter the missions based on the number of people, your strength, the difficulty of the mission, and other factors. In the end, it will decide which mission each person will take on. There may be hundreds of people taking on a mission at the same time, or there may even be only 1 or 2 people. However, no matter how difficult the mission is, there will definitely be more powerful students who will take it on. There is only one request, and that is that after seeing the posted missions, you will act according to your ability. Everyone's safety is the most important." Then Xiao Runing continued, "You have all signed a life and death contract with the Martial Arts Academy. The Martial Arts Academy will be responsible for your lives, and we also hope that you will be responsible for your own lives. Even if you die, the Martial Arts Academy will not take any responsibility. You must remember this. However, the biggest guarantee we can do is to ensure your safety as much as possible. When the time comes, we will give everyone the space crystal that they used to participate in the assessment. If you encounter danger, you can use the space crystal to directly teleport back to the Martial Arts Academy. Your safety can be guaranteed, but it depends on whether you will be careless or not." "Miss Xiao, what kind of missions are there?" someone asked. "They are all kinds of missions in the demonic beast domain. The easier ones are to kill a certain number of demonic beasts. The more difficult ones are to go to a more dangerous place to do something. That's about it. You will know the specifics tomorrow. You can also tell the difficulty of the mission by yourself," Xiao Runing said. "So when the time comes, your teammates will be random. That is, some students who have chosen the same mission as you." Xiao Runing said, "Miss Xiao, what if we want to act alone?" Su Jiming stood up and asked at this time. "As for whether you can survive, that is also your own business. However, there are a few missions that must be carried out as a team. Because the risk factor is too high, I will not disclose this to you for the time being. But if you go out and fail to complete the mission, the Academy will punish you. So, choose a mission that is within your ability, and try your best to protect your own life to complete the mission." The meaning of the existence of the Martial Arts Academy was to let these people become independent talents, to stimulate their potential, to make them improve on their original foundation, and even to make them undergo a qualitative change and sublimation. The Martial Arts Academy would work hard, but the warriors themselves would also need to work hard. This process was very dangerous. There would definitely be people, and many of them would be sacrificed. However, this was everyone's choice. The Academy would not force you to do the mission, or come to the Martial Arts Academy. Since you came, you should have the determination and the consciousness of sacrifice. However, the Martial Arts Academy would try its best to protect everyone. The space crystal was the embodiment of this. With the space crystal in hand, unless you encountered an existence that could kill you instantly, there was nothing you could do about it. However, the probability of that happening was extremely low. Since they were asked to do the mission, these mission points and mission targets must have been scouted by the instructors of the Martial Arts Academy in advance. They were trying their best to protect everyone. "Okay, class is over." Lin Xian also walked out and lit a cigarette. Xiao Runing glanced at him. "When did this bastard learn to smoke?" Morong Yu also glanced at Lin Xian when she passed by him. "When did he learn to smoke?" "He learned to smoke on Earth." However, when he heard about Yi Renbing's pregnancy last night, Lin Xian was extremely depressed. It was his first time in this world to buy cigarettes. Chapter 11:15. Morong Yu glanced at Lin Xian and asked, "I've never seen you smoke before." She treated Lin Xian in a special way. Normally, she would not take the initiative to talk to a man. However, in her eyes, Lin Xian was a friend. She did not think much of it. This is not smoking. It's loneliness, Lin Xian said as he blew out a smoke ring. Morongyu. So you're very lonely? Sigh yes. Lin Xian then looked at Morongyu and said with a smile. Beautiful class monitor. Are you trying to help me get rid of my loneliness? Morongyu shook her head and said calmly. I want to ask you about the 6th level of Thousand Ice Pupils. The 6th level? I've told you before. You need a pure young body to help you cultivate. Morongyu nodded. You also said that you have a pure young body. Yes, so I can help you reach the 6th level of Thousand Ice Pupils. It depends on whether you're willing. How? Morongyu asked. She was a person who thirsted for power. In her life, other than family, power was more important than anything else. It's simple. Let's dual cultivate. Morongyu. Seeing her eyes, Lin Xian coughed and said with a smile. It's not that kind of dual cultivation. It's in a place where no one will disturb us. We might need to wear cool clothes. Then we'll use our palms. You release your cold energy, and I'll release my fire energy. The two types of energy will neutralize each other. My fire energy will gradually help you unlock the 6th level of Thousand Ice Pupils. Morongyu muttered to herself for a moment. She believed Lin Xian's words. After all, Lin Xian had indeed helped her unlock the 5th layer of her Thousand Ice Pupils. Furthermore, the 6th layer he mentioned seemed to make sense to her. But why do we have to wear cool clothes? Morongyu didn't quite understand what the connection was. Because wearing cool clothes is more beneficial for your absorption of fire attribute energy. The best way is to be naked, but I know that you definitely can't do that. So it's best to wear cool clothes, but you definitely can't wear too much. Otherwise, the failure rate will be very high. This process may last for 1 or 2 hours. In 1 or 2 hours, there's a chance that the release, neutralization, and fusion of our energy will be disrupted because of wearing too much. It might even cause an explosion. If we release our energy for such a long time, the explosion of energy might cause us to die there. Lin Xian said with a very reasonable expression. Morongyu pondered for a while. Got it. When are you free? Lin Xian. You don't mind. It won't expose anything, and it can also greatly increase my strength. Why should I be afraid? Morongyu looked at Lin Xian. Lin Xian. This woman was very cold, but she was not pretentious at all. Interesting. I still have to go to Linen City to do something. Why don't you wait for me to come back from there? Okay. Morongyu nodded. Remember to wear nice clothes. Choose a beautiful set of underwear. Lin Xian grinned. Morongyu. Then she directly walked away. Did she have to wear underwear, just to wear cool clothes? No. Who said that? Couldn't she wear the loose t-shirt that she wore the other day? That was also cool, right? Lin Xian drove directly back to Linen City. In a private room of Linen Hotel, Zi Qiyue, an Xian, Lu Yufan, Miao Xiaomiao, and Yi Yi, 5 beautiful girls of different ages gathered around the table. The dishes were served one after another. The waiter who served the dishes was shocked. What kind of immortal gathering was this? Zi Qiyue? An Xian? There were also 3 beautiful girls. They were actually here. This was too exaggerated. However, Zi Qiyue specifically told them not to tell others. Presumably, with her appeal and the warning from the hotel's leaders, they would not reveal it, at least for now. When they got off work, they would probably brag that they saw Zi Qiyue and an Xian, and were eating at their hotel. This meal was treated by Zi Qiyue. Of course, it was mainly for Lin Xian. She came for Lin Xian. Zi Qiyue was a talented woman. Of course, she liked talented people the most. Lin Xian was not invincible in her eyes, but he was definitely very talented. She admired and liked him very much. Of course, this kind of like was not the kind that she wanted to have sex with, but it did not necessarily improve to the kind that she wanted to have sex with. An Xian and Zi Qiyue played the guitar together in the private room, and sang Lin Xian's new song together. The more Zi Qiyue sang, the more she liked it. She loved the song so much that she decided that she must cover this song. At the same time, Lin Xian's position in her heart rose by another level. Lin Xian's songs from an Xian to now were all top-notch, and they were all top-notch songs that could be passed down. With this kind of talent, if he entered the entertainment industry, it would only take time for him to become a heavenly king. However, he didn't want to enter the entertainment industry and didn't even want to show his face. This made Zichiyue admire him greatly. It's good, it's good. Lu Yufan and the others excitedly applauded the two of them. Some people outside would pass by their private room and hear the melodious songs coming from inside. The most exaggerated thing was that if you went shopping now, you would see that 50% or more of the songs that Lin Xian wrote for an Xian, including Zichiyue's dignity. This kind of situation would only happen when a divine song like The Big Apple appeared. In the entire empire, Lin Xian's songs dominated the charts. They also dominated the charts. It's not the singing that's good, it's the songs that are good. Zichiyue smiled and put down the guitar. Yeah, Lin Xian is really too talented. An Xian also sighed in admiration. Lu Yufan and the others were even more shocked. From the day they met Lin Xian, they never thought that Lin Xian would be like this one day. He was really amazing. I really don't know how much ink he has in his stomach. A person can write so many melodies and so many styles of songs in such a short time. The lyrics are also good, but the styles are too diverse. An Xian said. Zichiyue was in this line of work. She deeply knew how difficult it was for a person to write songs in several different styles. For any singer-songwriter, if you listened to their songs, you would find that their songs basically had one style, at most two. The different styles were written by other people. So I came here to talk to Lin Xian about cooperation. Zichiyue said with a smile, then took a sip of her drink. Sister Chiyue, do you want Lin Xian to write songs for you? Lu Yufan asked. Zichiyue nodded. Yeah, after all, his songs are too good. I don't know if he will agree. He definitely will. Trace said. Why? Because he's the most lecherous. Everyone. Ha ha ha. Chapter 11:16. Lin Xian was wearing a mask and a cap. When he arrived at the door, he heard the girls laughing inside. Sisters, what's so funny when I'm not here? Are they talking bad about me? Lin Xian felt that someone must know that Zichiyue and the others were inside. If he went in alone, someone would definitely guess that he was Lin Xian. Therefore, Lin Xian had to wear a mask or something. He pushed open the door and walked in. The beautiful girls looked at Lin Xian at the same time. I'm starving, I'm starving. Lin Xian then sat next to Yi Yi. The dishes are all here. Do you want a drink? Zichiyue asked. Yes, a big star is treating us. We have to drink, and we have to drink good wine. Lin Xian said with a smile. The girls looked at Lin Xian helplessly. Wow. He really acted like they were close to each other. No, how could he be so shameless as to say something like that? On the other hand, Zichiyue was happy to hear this. This meant that Lin Xian wanted to have a good relationship with her. That was a good thing. Even if he spent millions on a meal, it was nothing to her. She didn't care. Okay, then I'll go. I'll go. It's not convenient for Sister Chiyue to go out. Lu Yufan said. Well, 2 bottles of Royal Salute. Okay. Lu Yufan then ran out like a wisp of smoke. Not long after, a young lady brought them 2 bottles of Royal Salute. Beauty Chiyue, you've spent a lot of money. Lin Xian looked at the dishes on the table. A few of them were home-cooked dishes that everyone liked to eat, but the rest were expensive. As for why Lin Xian didn't call her sister Chiyue, what a joke. If he called her sister Chiyue, they would be siblings. If he didn't call her sister Chiyue, it was more likely that they would develop a relationship. After all, this triggered a confession quest. It's okay. It's my honor to treat Mr. Lin Xian to a meal. Zichiyue smiled. Cough cough. Lin Xian choked and quickly said, Don't say that, beautiful Chiyue. If your fans or society find out, I'll be scolded to death. Although Mr. Lin Xian hasn't entered the entertainment industry, he is quite familiar with it. Zichiyue smiled. It's alright. Internet trolls are too scary, and keyboard warriors are too powerful. We can't afford to offend them. Lin Xian shrugged and picked up an abalone. F***ck. It's delicious. I feel that it's much better than the abalones I used to eat. Moreover, there's no fishy smell at all. Lin Xian pointed and said. Of course, Mr. Lin Xian. It can't be something ordinary, right? Zichiyue said with a smile. No. Beauty Chiyue, don't be like this. Calling him Mr. makes us feel distant. Oh. Zichiyue's eyes lit up. Call me little brother. Everyone. Wow. Lin Xian even flirted with Zichiyue? Lu Yufan and the others were shocked. Zichiyue was also stunned for a moment. Then she smiled and said, Okay, little brother Lin Xian. Lin Xian scratched his head. Zichiyue stood up, raised her glass and said, It's my first time in Linen City. I'm very happy to see you all. Here's a toast to you. Then everyone stood up and clinked glasses. Miao Xiaomiao knew that this was Lin Xian's home ground, so they were mostly here to eat, watch the big stars and listen to them chat. The main thing was that their favorite and Xian and Zichiyue were here, and they invited them to join them, so they really couldn't help but come. Lin Xian, Sister Chiyue wants to see you because... An Xian looked at Lin Xian. I know I'm writing songs. Lin Xian put down his chopsticks. I don't know if you can handle it. No, I should ask if you agree first. Zichiyue looked at Lin Xian. You should know whether I agree or not. Lin Xian said with a smile. Zichiyue smiled and raised her glass to Lin Xian. Then she drank it in one gulp. It had to be said that this kind of woman, the way she drank was really beautiful and elegant. Anyway, it could be said that she had thought it through. Moreover, this was a heavenly concubine. This kind of woman would give you a strong feeling in addition to being beautiful. What kind of feeling? It was that she was not ordinary. She was the idol and dream lover of countless people. It was very satisfying to sleep with such a woman. Of course, Zichiyue was very smart. When Lin Xian agreed to go to the banquet, she knew that Lin Xian had agreed. Then can you handle it? Zichiyue asked. Although Lin Xian was indeed very talented, and she acknowledged that, she had also personally written and composed songs. She knew how long and how difficult it was to write a song with lyrics, let alone write one for two people. Moreover, it was a high-quality song. That's not a problem. An Xian, give me the guitar. Lin Xian waved at an Xian. Then, an Xian handed the guitar to Lin Xian. Beauty Chiyue is more suitable for singing some love songs. Whether it's cheerful or sad, it suits you. However, this love song must have a little bit of meaning. Lin Xian said as he plucked the strings. Zichiyue, and everyone looked at Lin Xian. Could it be that Lin Xian, little brother, are you going to improvise? Zichiyue asked with a smile. She had heard an Xian say that those flowers, and a Taoist nun friend of hers were improvised in front of her by Lin Xian. Miss Chiyue, you have to have some confidence in me, so that we can cooperate better. Lin Xian chuckled and began to fiddle with the strings. Then he hummed a song. The girls listened carefully to Lin Xian's humming. Although it was only 20 seconds, but Zichiyue opened her beautiful eyes, which were shining slightly. Good song. Not to mention other things, she loved this song. Of course, who wouldn't love the chorus of Later? Especially for a woman like Zichiyue. This kind of song was most suitable for her. An Xian looked at Lin Xian with shining eyes. He was too talented, really too talented. It should be a good song. Whether it's good or not, we'll know when it's written. Lin Xian said with a smile. Then Lin Xian said, Miss Chiyue, please give me a pen and paper. I'll write it first. Right now? Zichiyue was stunned. Yes, I should be able to write it after eating and chatting. I can't let you down. Lin Xian grinned. Zichiyue looked at Lin Xian with slight surprise, and then handed him a pen and paper. Lin Xian chatted with everyone while eating and writing the song. Okay, take a look. Lin Xian handed the song to Zichiyue. Zichiyue took it, and an Xian came over to read it. The more she read, the more surprised she was. He wrote it just like that. Although the words weren't good, the song. She hummed it according to the song. Later, I finally learned how to love. Unfortunately, you're long gone and disappeared in the sea of people. Later, wow, this song is so good. An Xian couldn't help but exclaim. Lin Xian said that this song was indeed good. After all, it was a classic song of a generation. This song would definitely be passed down for hundreds of years, or even longer. Chapter 11:17. Then, Zichiyue looked at Lin Xian in surprise. Wasn't this person too exaggerated? How could he write such a song just like that? In her opinion, this song was so good that she couldn't wait to release it now. Really, she didn't know why, but she loved the songs written by Lin Xian too much. They were too much to her taste. Is it okay? Lin Xian asked. It's more than okay, Zichiyue said in surprise. Then, she looked at Lin Xian and asked, if you can write such a song so casually, what kind of song are you seriously writing? Lin Xian shrugged his shoulders and said, it's about the same. It can only be said that the style is different, but the level is the same. However, I won't help with the accompaniment. I believe that with Miss Chiyue's ability, it's easy for you to make an accompaniment, right? Zichiyue nodded. Of course, no problem. Don't worry, all the fees for these songs will be given to you. She really didn't lack money, and she didn't come to Lin Xian for money. She simply liked these songs and liked to sing. As for fame, she didn't lack it. Her fame had already been consolidated, and it would be difficult for it to soar again. Lin Xian didn't refuse because he was short of money. If others knew Lin Xian's thoughts, they would definitely kill him. Short of money. You're F***king short of money? For a big star like Zichiyue, as long as her songs were popular, they could easily earn hundreds of millions a year. Moreover, they were high-quality songs. When the time came for various singing variety shows, the copyright fee would also be a big income. In any case, Lin Xian was making money from various places. But there's a premise. Lin Xian thought of something and said, what? Because I promised an Xian that I would give her an award, and the songs I wrote for you can easily win an award, so. When an Xian heard Lin Xian's words, she was touched. He actually kept this matter in his heart. Zichiyue understood what Lin Xian meant and said, don't worry. I just like these songs and singing, and I've passed the time of competing for results. And Anne's career is on the rise, and she happened to meet you. You can definitely help her reach a higher level. She might even be crowned as the queen. At that time, I will make a statement that I won't compete for any awards for these songs. Sister Chiyue. An Xian bit her lips and looked at Zichiyue. Zichiyue smiled and rubbed her hair. She said, good luck. You can reach even higher heights. Lin Xian nodded and said, all right then. Zichiyue said, this period of time can also be considered as a vacation for myself. From my debut until now, the longest I've rested in a year is only a month. During this period of time, I'll focus on writing songs and singing. I won't take on any jobs. It just so happens that I'll stay in Linen City. If I have time, I'll go to the Monster Beast domain to take a look. Sister Chiyue, you also go to the Monster Beast domain. Zichiyue shook her head. Not many. Lin Xian used his Eye of Cave Spirit to take a look. She was in the arcane body realm, which was actually not that high. However, for such a big star to still have the strength of the arcane body realm, it could be considered amazing. An Xian, on the other hand, had never been to the demonic beast domain in her entire life. She was just an ordinary star. However, going to the demonic beast domain was something that every capable person had to do. Not for anything else, but for the sake of living a few more years. She had to go even if it meant having better skin. However, everyone had their own life choices and plans. An Xian might not go now, but she would definitely go in the future. As for Zichiyue, she also didn't go there often. However, she thought that she was a public figure after all. Sometimes she might encounter some danger, so she could better protect herself if she had some strength. Lin Xian was happy. Zichiyue would stay in Linen City for the time being. An Xian would also stay in Linen City. Then he would have more opportunities. There was also Luo Chenxi. By the way, an Xian, is your boss staying here? Lin Xian asked. Ah. An Xian was stunned. Why did Lin Xian suddenly ask about her boss? Miao Xiaomiao snorted. Lin Xian glanced at her. This girl was jealous. Hey, what are you snorting for? Lin Xian rolled his eyes. He was just asking. And this girl thought that he was going to hit on her? Because you are a hooligan, right, Yi? Yi nodded. Lin Xian. Zichiyue held back her laughter. Brother Lin Xian, how are you a hooligan? She felt that it was quite interesting. Nonsense, when did I become a hooligan? Don't believe me, Lin Xian said to Zichiyue. I only know that the three of them said that you are a hooligan. That's not wrong. Zichiyue smiled. Lin Xian. Then, Lin Xian glared at them, and they stuck out their pink tongues. An Xian then said, I don't know if Sister Chenxi will stay in Linan City, but she should be in Linan City for the time being. Because Sister Chenxi's parents and grandparents are all in Linan City now, and our company is now in a stable period, and has passed the rising period. So Sister Chenxi should have time. No, I'm just asking. He just thinks she's pretty. Miao Xiaomiao muttered. Lin Xian. Ha ha ha. Zichiyue couldn't help but laugh. What? You still have feelings for Luo Chenxi? Sure, I'm good friends with her. I can help you two get together. I originally wanted to invite her to this dinner, but I didn't tell you after all, so I didn't ask her. Zichiyue couldn't help but laugh. Don't mess around. It's okay. I'll go to her place tonight and help you talk to her. Zichiyue said with a smile. Lin Xian. Don't, I'm just thinking about whether I can do business with her or something. I don't mean anything else really. Lin Xian said seriously. Don't mean anything else. No, there must be something else, but we have to take it slow, right? It would be too abrupt if Zichiyue did it. Oh, you want to start a company too? Lin Xian shook his head. Doing business was just an excuse for Lin Xian. How could he make money by opening an entertainment company? It was better to develop a high-tech or monopolistic product. With the ability of Yixian Group, it would make much more money than a management company. No, I'm just saying. Let's eat. After dinner, I'll go back and help you two write songs. Lin Xian said. No hurry. Let me write this song first. You can help an Xian write it first. Zichiyue was very serious about writing songs. She didn't like to have a pile of good songs piled up, and then write songs as if she had completed a task. She liked to write songs slowly and seriously. Chapter 11:18. Lin Xian realized that he seemed to be quite busy now. After having breakfast with Zichiyue and the others, Lin Xian wondered if he could do something with Zichiyue alone. In the end, he didn't have the chance, so Lin Xian simply went home. Early in the morning, Lin Ye went to the company after making breakfast for him. She had been quite busy recently. Several projects had started, or were being developed one after another. Moreover, Lin Xian's plan was going on, so she needed to watch over it. Although she was a little tired, she was really satisfied. The only thing was that Lin Xian came home less and less often. However, Lin Ye knew that Lin Xian was improving himself in the martial arts academy. She was happy for him. Lin Xian also went to the martial arts academy after breakfast. The next important thing was the mission issued by the martial arts academy. It was a rare opportunity to go out and gain experience. Moreover, it was very motivating. Lin Xian was also very curious about the mission issued by the martial arts academy. Early in the morning, Lin Xian arrived at the martial arts academy. There were no classes today. The whole day was used to let people choose to accept missions, or even find their own team members. When he arrived at the martial arts academy, the mission had not been issued yet. Lin Xian thought about going to Ling Ying and the others' place. It was just the right time to make a move on Xiaoxingyue. Whoosh! With a flash of light, Lin Xian's figure directly disappeared, and then appeared in Ling Ying and the others' room. Because that room was occupied by Ling Ying and Han Chuxue, Lin Xian was familiar with them and Xiaoxingyue. So Lin Xian was too lazy to ask the dormitory aunt. When Lin Xian appeared in their room, Xiaoxingyue happened to be in her pajamas, and just came out of the bathroom after washing up. Then, she turned around and saw a man standing in their room. It was an instinctive reaction. Before she could see who it was, a burst of cold energy erupted. Lin Xian didn't expect little Xingyue to attack him. He was completely unprepared and was frozen there. At this time, Ling Ying and Han Chuxue also felt the fluctuation of spiritual power in the living room, and ran out in their pajamas. What's wrong? Ling Ying asked, and then looked at Lin Xian who was frozen. Xiaoxingyue also saw that it was Lin Xian. She secretly touched her forehead. No, why is this man like this? It's fine if you don't knock on the door, but you came here directly. Seriously, then Xiao Xingyue waved her hand, and the cold energy disappeared. Lin Xian cracked his neck. Wow! Little Xingyue, why are you so cruel? You came to the place where we 3 girls live without saying a word. How can you blame me? Xiao Xingyue said helplessly. Fortunately, she subconsciously felt that the person who came in was from the martial arts academy and might not have committed a heinous crime. So, she only released her power to freeze him. Yes, if it were me, I would throw a knife at a certain part of his body. Ling Ying laughed. Then, her right hand started to play with a dagger in a fluid manner. Lin Xian, don't mess around. I just came here to discuss the mission with you. As for the girls, they would definitely choose the more difficult missions. However, there would still be danger. Lin Xian couldn't be said to be more powerful than them. But after all, he had the space and time attributes. If they were outside, they would still be safer. Moreover, Lin Xian also liked to train with them. What? You want to come with us? Ling Ying asked. Han Chuxue quietly walked to the kitchen and poured a glass of water for Lin Xian. Yeah. Lin Xian nodded and sat on the sofa. The 3 girls were wearing pajamas of different colors. He really wanted to strip them. Xiao Xingyue wanted to go back to her room and change. Although the pajamas didn't expose anything, it was very comfortable inside. Who would want to be tied down when sleeping at night? So sometimes, if you just sat there wearing pajamas, there would be little Lil P in front of you. Ling Ying and Han Chuxue might really have a relationship with Lin Xian, so they didn't think too much about it. Xiao Xingyue found it strange that they didn't change their pajamas. She thought about it and decided not to change either. She just said that she was sitting in a place where Lin Xian couldn't see her directly. Forget it. We're going to choose different missions, Ling Ying said. Why? Because it's better for us to train ourselves, Han Chuxue said. It's too dangerous. But if it's not dangerous, it's not training. Han Chuxue continued. Lin Xian touched his chin. The main thing was that they were his women, so he was worried. But on second thought, they weren't weak either. Plus, they had the space crystals given by the academy, so they should train well. Okay, then I'll choose on my own. But you must be careful. I know. You don't have to tell me. By the way, are you in the domain realm? Ling Ying waved his hand and asked. Lin Xian nodded. Yeah. Those people in the academy who were scammed by you must hate you to death. Lin Xian shrugged. It's not my fault. I didn't force them. At this moment, Xiao Xingyue waved her phone and said, the mission is out. Let's use the TV. Then, Ling Ying used the TV to open the Martial Arts Academy app and entered the mission panel. Originally, the mission panel was empty. But now, they took a look and saw that there were a total of 302 missions of various sizes. There were a total of 7 missions, D, C, B, A, S, 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 and SSS. The difficulty increased in ascending order. At the same time, the side of each mission would give you a detailed explanation of how difficult the mission was, including the recommended number of people to take on it. This would allow you to weigh your own strength and make the best decision. They were all geniuses here. Even if it was a D-rank mission, it would definitely be difficult. However, they had to weigh their own strength before making the choice. However, there would definitely be many people who would put on a facade and choose a mission that was beyond what they could accept. They might not die because there were many protective measures. It was just that the mission might not be completed. Lin Xian, Han Chuxue, and the others would definitely choose an S-rank mission at the very least. It wasn't impossible for them to choose an SSS rank mission. The main thing was that they had to weigh the pros and cons. There were a few SSS rank missions that required a team to take action. In other words, if they chose this mission, all of them would have to take action as a team. If the mission was successful, the entire team would be successful. Because it was too dangerous, they had to take action as a team. Of course, if you wanted to act cool and force yourself to do it alone, the academy wouldn't be sad if you died. Lin Xian had to choose an SSS rank mission because he was confident in his own strength. He felt that since it was an experience, he had to choose something that would put his life in danger. Only then could he improve himself. Otherwise, why would he come to the Martial Arts Academy? They were all silent. They were all looking at the missions one by one. I'll choose this one, Linging said. Chapter 11:19. Hearing Ling Ying's words, Lin Xian and the others looked over. Ling Ying wanted to choose an SSS rank mission. The mission content was to head to Ghost Suicide Valley and kill a domain realm ghost beast. It might seem easy, but don't forget that this was an SSS rank mission. Ghost Suicide Valley was a very, very big abyss. In this abyss you might fall to your death. You might not even be able to climb back up. This was just one of the reasons. Secondly, there was a kind of ghost-like creature in the valley. That's right, it was a ghost beast. This kind of creature was terrifying because of its mental attacks. It could even possess a body. Once you're possessed, you're finished. There were ghost beasts ranging from low to high level. The mission even clearly stated that there was a heavenly venerable realm ghost beast there. Therefore, this mission had a high risk of death. Are you sure? Lin Xian asked Ling Ying. This place is completely dark, just right for me to unleash my full potential. Moreover, my mental strength is actually not that strong. After refining the demonic crystal of the spirit beast, it can increase the mental strength of a martial artist. This place will be very beneficial to me. Ling Ying nodded. Ling Ying had the dark attribute, so it would be very good for him to display his strength in such a place. The danger would also be very high. However, Lin Xian believed in him. Moreover, he had the spatial crystal. Remember to be 120% vigilant when you get there. The ghost beast has the ability to possess a body. It will be very dangerous if you get ambushed. Got it. Then, Ling Ying lowered his head and used his phone to choose a mission. Han Qixue had also chosen her mission. Even without Lin Xian, they would discuss the pros and cons of these missions. For example, where the danger was and what to pay attention to. Han Qixue chose the Scarlet Forest mission. The Scarlet Forest was nearly 1,000 kilometers away from Linan City. She had to drive there by herself, and she might encounter great danger on the road. Xiao Xinyue wanted to choose the Dragon God Lake mission. It was rumored that there was a dragon living in the Dragon God Lake. Of course, that was just a rumor. There were many other dangers in the Dragon God Lake aside from the rumored dragon. None of them were weak, and the missions they chose were SSS rank missions. They were very dangerous and had the risk of losing their lives, but this was the only way they could train themselves. Basically, the top 50 or 100 students in the academy would all choose SSS rank missions. Of course, the top 100 students weren't the current top 100 students, but the top 100 students with true strength. Lin Xian, which one do you choose? The three of them had basically decided on a mission for the time being, and had applied for it. The only one left was Lin Xian. Of course, Lin Xian chose the SSS-ranked mission. However, there were more than 10 missions in this SSS-ranked mission. He was weighing which one to go to. This one. Lin Xian and Lin Xian clicked on each other's toxic despair. Don't you want to change to another one? Ling Ying asked. The extreme poisonous territory was a rather special place. The degree of danger was about the same as the one they had chosen. However, the extreme poisonous territory had an extra layer of poison. The air in this place was filled with poison, not to mention any stalk of grass, demonic beasts. Everything that you could see with your eyes was poisonous, and the degree of toxicity was different. Although the place they had chosen was dangerous, these dangers would only exist if one encountered them. On the other hand, when Lin Xian stepped into this place, the poison was a hidden danger. Therefore, although they were of the same rank, Lin Xian's mission was more dangerous in a sense. The mission was very simple. They had to get rid of the king of poison in the toxic despair. The toxic despair was a small forest. There were several kings in this forest, and their realms ranged from high-level Grand Dominion realm to Heavenly Venerable realm. Therefore, this mission was also a compulsory team mission. It was not impossible for several top martial artists from the Martial Arts Academy to team up against a Heavenly Venerable realm monster. That monster was not a high-level Heavenly Venerable realm monster, so they had a high chance of killing it if they worked together. Of course, the possibility of death was also very high. Because of this reason, it had to be a team mission. Because if it wasn't a team and you were alone, Even the most powerful student wouldn't be at the heavenly venerable realm. If they challenged a heavenly venerable realm demonic beast by themselves, it would simply be suicide. Lin Xian was secretly shocked when he saw this mission. The Martial Arts Academy was indeed forcefully increasing the strength of the students. Under normal circumstances, one would not even dare to think about such a difficult mission. But now it had become their mission. Although Lin Xian was only a 1-star Grand Dominion Realm monster, and definitely could not fight a heavenly venerable realm monster. Since it was a team mission, he would not be fighting alone. Moreover, his poison attribute should be more advantageous in this place. In addition, he had eaten the blue sky rainbow flower before, so he should not have to worry about the poison inside. If he did well, he might be able to increase his strength by a few stars. Although his realm was not high, Lin Xian was sure that if he went all out, he would definitely be able to injure a low-level heavenly venerable monster. At least, his attacks would not be like scratching an itch. Let's give it a try. I think this mission is quite to my taste. Lin Xian said. Then you have to be careful. Ling Ying said. Lin Xian nodded. They knew that this mission was very difficult, but Lin Xian had the space attribute more than them. They should be more confident that Lin Xian would be fine. Instead, they had to consider themselves. I have some ingredients here, Lin Xian. Ling Ying then glanced at Lin Xian. His meaning was very clear. Wow, you want to eat a big meal so early in the morning. Lin Xian rolled his eyes. Won't you have to cook for a few hours? It'll be noon by the time you're done, Ling Ying said with a smile. Okay. I'll cook for you. Hee. Lin Xian was naturally very happy to cook for them. Lin Xian was already full of guilt towards them. I'm going to wash up. Ling Ying then walked into the bathroom. Han Chuxue had not washed up yet. Little Xinyue, come over and give me a hand. Lin Xian called out to Xiao Xinyue. Coming. Xiao Xinyue walked in and out. Hey, little Xinyue, I remember that you still owe me 6 conditions, right? Lin Xian looked at her with a smile. Xiao Xinyue. Wow. After not mentioning it for so long, she thought that Lin Xian had forgotten about it. She was quite glad that he remembered it all along. Sure enough, a hooligan was a hooligan. Xiao Xinyue nodded as she washed the vegetables. Then I'll tell you the conditions now. Kiss me. Lin Xian then smiled. Xiao Xinyue. She guessed that Lin Xian would make such a hooligan request. How infuriating. No, change it. Xiao Xinyue said softly. You want to be shameless? I didn't ask you to kiss my lips or my face. Lin Xian then pointed at his cheek and moved closer. Xiao Xinyue. Chapter 11:20. Fine. She'll endure it. She owed him a favor and lost the bet to him. It was her fault. But for a girl like her, asking her to kiss a boy who wasn't her boyfriend, honestly, how could she do it? She was conflicted and struggling. Your sister already slept with me. What's wrong with kissing me? Lin Xian said. Xiao Xinyue was speechless. When she suddenly heard Lin Xian's words, she felt that it made sense. Her sister, who had always been excellent in her eyes, had already slept with Lin Xian. It didn't seem like a big deal for her to kiss him, right? Quick. If you don't kiss me, I'll let you kiss me. Lin Xian smiled and moved closer. Xiao Xinyue took a deep breath and slowly closed her eyes. Her long eyelashes trembled, proving that her heart wasn't calm. Then, she slowly moved closer to Lin Xian's cheek. Her lips were a little cold, but very soft. Ding! Tricking this big sister into kissing you. Prince Charming points plus 30,000. But at this moment, Han Chuxue walked out of her room to take the towel she left on the balcony. She just happened to see this scene. Hearing the sound, Xiao Xinyue quickly pulled back and her face suddenly turned red. God! She was seen. Wow! Why was her life so tragic? What a coincidence! What should Han Chuxue say after seeing this? She wasn't surprised at all, because she always felt that Lin Xian had feelings for Xiao Xinyue. Xiao Xinyue was really beautiful, so she felt that it was normal. However, she still felt uncomfortable in her heart, but she was already used to it. She even felt that the relationship between mini girls and Lin Xian wasn't simple. She even gradually stopped caring about it. Ahem, little Chushue. When Lin Xian saw Han Chushue, his old face also turned red and he coughed dryly. I came out to get a towel, Han Chushue said faintly, and then walked to the balcony. Bastard. Xiao Xinyue gritted her teeth and looked at Lin Xian with shame and anger. Are you blaming me? Lin Xian shrugged. Xiao Xinyue gritted her teeth. How do you explain this? Xiao Xinyue asked. I don't want to explain. If I really want to explain, you'll be my girlfriend. Lin Xian smiled and quickly kissed Xiao Xinyue's cheek. Xiao Xinyue was speechless. Bang! She kicked Lin Xian's leg and walked away. She slammed the door and went into her room. After entering her room, she leaned against the door and placed her hands on her chest. Her heart was beating very fast. She didn't quite understand the feeling of being at a loss for what to do. This Lin Xian actually dared to force a kiss on her. Although it wasn't a kiss, but did he really like her? But why did she feel that he was so unreliable? No, why wasn't she angry? Xiao Xinyue was also shocked. Logically speaking, if someone treated her like this, she would even want to kill him. She and Lin Xian were friends, so she wouldn't kill him if Lin Xian treated her like this. But why wasn't she angry? Little Chushue, come and help me. Lin Xian smiled and waved at Han Chushue, who walked out. Han Chushue hesitated for a moment, but still walked over. She was a very cold person, but she was also very similar to Lin Ye and Bing Lingyue. When she gave her heart and soul to someone, she could forgive and not care about many things. For example, just now when she and Ling Ying were together, maybe it was because she already guessed this, or maybe it was because she was used to Lin Xian having more than one girlfriend, so she could accept it more. Don't say anything, I won't say anything. Han Chushue said softly. Wah. Lin Xian really wanted to cry. He felt that he was really AF * king beast. Scumbag, it really suited him. He was indeed a scumbag. The girl was so outstanding and beautiful, and she was so tolerant of him, but he F * king. I'm sorry, aren't all men like this? Han Chushue said. But you guys. How should I say? Han Chushue thought for a moment and said, I think it doesn't matter. Kiss. Lin Xian then smiled and moved his lips closer. Han Chushua's pretty face was red. Then she kissed Lin Xian's lips and ran away. Sigh. Lin Xian looked at her back and sighed. Really, what did Lin Xian do to deserve this? Although he said that he was very handsome to the outside world, to be honest, he was really not handsome, just good looking. However, it was precisely because of this that he won the hearts of so many outstanding girls, and they were still loyal to him. But he, on the other hand, kept seducing other girls. Lin Xian cooked a big meal for them, more than a dozen dishes, and it could be said that it took him 3 hours to cook. It smells good. Ling Ying rubbed her small hands and couldn't wait to pinch them. Then her big eyes sparkled. Every girl was a foodie, just that the degree of foodie was different. Lin Xian's cooking had really captured the stomachs of many girls. Right now Lan Xingxing, who was next door, was sitting on the sofa, hugging a pillow, watching TV, and hammering the pillow with all her might. I want to eat Lin Xian's delicious food. Lan Xingxing felt a little uncomfortable, and she wanted to roll on the ground and beg for delicious food. Wu Yuhan walked out and looked at her. I'm going out to buy some food. Do you need me to bring anything for you? Her tone was very cold, and it was obvious that the other sister personality, Wu Yuhan, had come out. No need, no need. Lan Xingxing pointed at the fridge and said, There's a lot of delicious food in there, I just want to eat Lin Xian's dishes. Then Lan Xingxing pouted, and looked like she was about to cry. When Wu Yuhan heard the name Lin Xian, she frowned. Then go find Lin Xian to cook for you. Morong Yu said indifferently as she walked out of the bathroom while drying her hair. No, I'm embarrassed. Lan Xingxing kicked her legs. Right at this moment, Lan Xingxing seemed to have discovered something, and her cute little nose sniffed. Delicious, it's the smell of delicious food. Lan Xingxing sniffed as she approached the balcony. This balcony was connected to Ling Ying's balcony, and she only needed to climb over. Lan Xingxing lay on the balcony. The two girls also followed. Delicious, it's the smell of delicious food. It's the smell of delicious food made by Lin Xian. Lan Xingxing said excitedly to them. Morongyu. She could even smell that? As expected of a top-notch foodie. Lin Xian might be with them, Morongyu muttered. Whoosh! Then Lan Xingxing ran out. She was embarrassed to ask Lin Xian to cook for her. But she was embarrassed to ask for a free meal. Wahahaha. I'm going out. Wu Yuhan said to Morongyu indifferently and walked away. Knock 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 knock. Lan Xingxing knocked on the door, and Xiao Xingyue opened it for her. Sister Xingyue, I'm here for a free meal. Lan Xingxing smiled sweetly. Then come in. Xiao Xingyue said, and Lan Xingxing skipped in. Wah wah wah. Lin Xian, you didn't call me when you were cooking. Lan Xingxing pouted, and looked at Lin Xian. Lin Xian. Then Lan Xingxing ran to the dining table, picked up the chopsticks and took a bite. I feel good, I feel good. That's right, she felt good. Lin Xian. Chapter 1121. Lin Xian purposely didn't call them over, because there were already 3 girls here. If another 3 came over, he wouldn't be able to handle it. However, Lan Xingxing still came over. But, Xingxing, how did you know I was cooking here? Lin Xian asked. Lan Xingxing, who was eating the delicious food, mumbled. Oh, I smell it. Lin Xian. Then how did you know I was the one who made it? The smell. Lin Xian. Perhaps this was the little glutton's special ability? This was amazing. Lin Xian had already made a lot of food. Under normal circumstances, they wouldn't have been able to finish it. Luckily, this little glutton came over. Burp. After eating, Lan Xingxing burped in satisfaction. She leaned back on the chair and rubbed her little belly. So good, so good. Lan Xingxing was about to faint. Amazing. Lingying couldn't help but say. What's amazing? Lan Xingxing opened her eyes and asked in confusion. You're amazing. Oh. There were more than 10 dishes on the table. Originally, they thought that if they couldn't finish it today, they could eat for 2 days. However, this little girl came and finished half of it by herself. Hee, it's too delicious. Lan Xingxing stuck out her pink tongue cutely. So why didn't you invite Morongyu over to eat with us? Lingying looked at Lin Xian and asked. When Lan Xingxing first came, she wanted to invite Morongyu over as well. However, Lin Xian refused. Big sister, look at the situation now. There's only 1 more girl. We don't have any leftovers. Do you want me to make a few more dishes if she comes? Lin Xian said helplessly. Lingying felt that it should be something else. Something between a man and a woman. Of course, this was also Lin Xian's idea. He felt that if Morongyu came, although he hadn't done anything to Morongyu yet, it was inevitable that the girls would say something terrible. Lin Xian was afraid. That's right. After the number of women around him increased, he had a very bad subconscious. For some inexplicable reason, he didn't want some of the women to bump into each other. He panicked. Even though there was nothing between Lin Xian and Morongyu, Lin Xian still had feelings for her. Lin Xian didn't want that, so Lin Xian was really upset. Moreover, girls were sensitive, so he had no other choice. That's true. Lingying felt that Lin Xian's words made sense. But that wasn't right. Morongyu couldn't eat much. Moreover, if she came, Lan Xingxing wouldn't eat so much. She was so full that she didn't even want to move. Forget it, forget it. Let's not bother about it. Lin Xian, there doesn't seem to be anything going on these few days. Lan Xingxing then looked at Lin Xian and stuck out her pink tongue cutely. Lin Xian. He knew what this girl meant. If this girl said that there was nothing going on, then he would have time to cook for her. Okay. Lin Xian smiled helplessly. Yay. I'm happy. Lan Xingxing jumped 3 feet high. That day the few of them didn't do much. They stayed at home and played cards. There were 5 of them, and 2 decks of cards. Moreover, they were playing real money. Lin Xian lost terribly. Lin Xian really couldn't understand. Why was he so weak? He couldn't beat girls in games. And now he was the only one who lost in cards? He was the only one who lost. Even Xing Baobao won. At this moment, Lin Xian's phone rang. Lin Xian glanced at it. I'm not playing anymore. The 4 of you can continue. Lin Xian stood up. Why aren't you playing anymore? The girls looked at Lin Xian. I'm busy. I keep losing. I'm not playing anymore. Goodbye. Lin Xian walked out after he finished speaking. He must have gone to find a girl. Ling Ying said angrily. I just saw it. Lan Xingxing blinked her big eyes. Saw what? I saw it. It was a message from Sister Morong to Lin Xian. If Lin Xian knew about it, he would definitely find a chance to give this girl a good spanking. Wah! You were so obedient earlier. I even gave you good food. Now you're selling me out. I have to fight. Morong Yu? They were slightly stunned. How should they put it? Instead, they were relieved that Morong Yu had sent a message to Lin Xian. They knew this woman better. How could Lin Xian take advantage of her? No, but that might not be the case. A long time ago, they never thought that they would be together with Lin Xian. They never thought that they would be magnanimous enough to serve Lin Xian with another woman. So this Morong Yu, wah! Bastard! 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 Lin Xian really didn't do anything. Morong Yu was free tonight. She wanted Lin Xian to help her unlock the 6th level of 1,000 ice pupils. Lin Xian was naturally willing to go. After all, Lin Xian cared a lot about 1,000 ice pupils. Morong Yu was waiting for Lin Xian at her first peak. Normally, Lin Xian wouldn't have the right to go there. However, Morong Yu was open to Lin Xian and agreed to let him come. Lin Xian was also quite excited. What was the first peak like? Then Lin Xian entered the first peak's teleportation array. Originally, Lin Xian and Morong Yu had agreed to wait until nightfall before heading over. However, Lin Xian had been playing at Ling Ying's place for quite a while now. It was already about 4 or 5 o'clock in the evening, so there was still 1 or 2 hours before nightfall. However, Lin Xian was truly in a bad mood after losing so much that he decided to head over directly. Whoosh! With a flash of light, Lin Xian arrived at the first peak. Hiss! The first thing Lin Xian did when he arrived was to suck in a breath of cold air. What the F***ck? Wasn't the spiritual power of heaven and earth too terrifying? Was this the first peak? How did it feel to have this spiritual power of heaven and earth? It felt like this was an air-conditioned room, while his room was a freezer. The difference was really that big. Then Lin Xian gave the first peak a cursory glance. Other than the terrifying spiritual power of heaven and earth, the size of the first peak also crushed all the previous peaks. This peak's decorations, beauty, and quantity were also overwhelming. There were even towers that were 10 to 20 meters tall, surrounded by clouds and mist. It was like a paradise on earth. Lin Xian was secretly speechless. This was King extravagant. This place was really not bad. Then Lin Xian frowned. This was because he actually felt a strong spiritual power fluctuation in front of him. What was going on? Lin Xian then walked over curiously. When Lin Xian walked over, he saw Morong Yu and a man sparring. These two people were unbelievably strong. Although they didn't use their full strength, Lin Xian could feel that there was a big gap between him and them. Lin Xian knew that man. It was Duan Lingxiao, the handsome man who was ranked second, the young master of the Trial Union. His status was the same as Morong Yu's. That wasn't something that Lin Xian could compare to. The two people's strength collided, then pulled away from each other. At the same time, they looked at Lin Xian, who was standing not far away. Chapter 1122. Duan Lingxiao's first reaction when he saw Lin Xian was to furrow his brows. As far as he knew, Morong Yu wouldn't have any contact with any other man. Aside from him, there were some opportunities for him to spar with her. He wasn't sure about the others, but this Lin Xian. He naturally knew about Lin Xian. When the Martial Arts Academy spread the news that Lin Xian and Morong Yu seemed to have a good relationship, he started paying attention to Lin Xian. Especially when Lin Xian was challenged by thousands of people, and Morong Yu actually took the initiative to go to his peak 108 to watch. This made Duan Lingxiao pay attention to this person. And today, he actually appeared on Morong Yu's peak, which made him pay more attention to Lin Xian. This person, what made him worthy of Morong Yu's special treatment? He and Morong Yu had known each other for a long time, and he could only be alone with her under the pretext of sparring. What was he doing here? Could it be that he was here to spar with Morong Yu? No, he wasn't worthy. In the entire martial arts academy, He felt that there were no more than 20 people who were worthy of sparring with Morongyu, and there were no more than 5 people who could fight with her. Why are you here now? Morongyu saw Lin Xian, then put away the sword in her hand and slowly walked down the stage. Oh, I came early because I had nothing to do. You guys continue fighting. Did I disturb you? I'll go to the side first. No need. I'm not fighting anymore. Morongyu shook her head slightly and said. At this moment, Duan Lingxiao put away his sword and walked down from Lin Xian with a smile. Lin Xian, right? I've heard of you, Duan Lingxiao. Then Duan Lingxiao smiled and reached out his hand to Lin Xian. Lin Xian reached out and shook his hand. I've also heard of you, the young master of the Trial Union. It's an honor to meet you, Lin Xian said with a smile. May I know why young master Lin is here? Duan Lingxiao asked with a smile. Oh, the class monitor invited me over for a meal, Lin Xian said with a smile. Morongyu? Alright, Lin Xian was right. He helped her a lot, so she had to treat him to a meal. Moreover, Lin Xian could not tell her his real purpose. But when Duan Lingxiao heard Lin Xian, he was very upset. What? Morongyu was inviting Lin Xian? How was that possible? What was the relationship was the relationship? Why? Duan Lingxiao was not an irrational person. He knew that there was a reason. But he was upset that he did not know the reason. He knew that it was impossible for Morongyu to like Lin Xian. He was sure of that. But if another man was able to do something that he could not do, he would be very upset. I see. Then, as if he had suddenly thought of something, he looked at Morongyu and said, Morongyu, we've known each other for quite a few years now, right? I've never eaten with you before. He purposely said this in a joking tone. Morongyu had always refused before, but in this kind of situation, it was not good for her to refuse again. Let's wait for another time. Not today, Duan Lingxiao asked with a smile. Today, I have some other things to discuss with Lin Xian. Alright, then I will personally invite you later. Since you are here, Lin Xian, you can chat. I will leave first. Duan Lingxiao then picked up the clothes beside him and walked away. But when he turned his back to them, his eyes flickered with a trace of darkness. Lin Xian, you better not touch this young master's woman, he said gloomily in his heart. Morongyu had always been his woman. He felt that in this world, only a woman like Morongyu was worthy of him. Reality proved that Morongyu had kept herself pure all these years, and he liked this woman more and more. But now, someone had suddenly appeared, and he seemed to have a good relationship with Morongyu. This was not a big deal. The main thing was that in these years, there had never been such a situation. Lin Xian was the only one, so he was especially concerned. In his eyes, Lin Xian's appearance, talent, strength, and background were absolutely no match for him. Therefore, it was even more impossible for Morongyu to take a fancy to Lin Xian. However, it just so happened that Lin Xian and Morongyu seemed to have a pretty good relationship. Lin Xian knew that there must be a reason behind it, but he didn't know why. He must find out. You said you would treat me to a meal, Lin Xian said to Morongyu with a smile. Then, he sat on the stone bench and poured himself a cup of tea. The food you cook is better, or I can eat what you cook, Morongyu said. That won't do. What I cook is what I cook, and what you cook is what you cook. The meaning is different. Also, the food you cook is delicious. Morongyu nodded slightly. Alright, but let's finish the important things first. Sure. Then, Lin Xian took off his jacket. Morongyu, why are you taking off your clothes? Did he misunderstand what she meant by important? No, don't you have to take off your clothes too? Lin Xian asked. Morongyu, you're thinking too much. I'm talking about the 1,000 ice pupils. Morongyu said. Yes, it's about the 1,000 ice pupils. But I told you before that the 6th level requires very little clothing. I also have to wear very little. So I took off my clothes. What's wrong? Am I overthinking things, or are you overthinking things? Lin Xian's lips curled as he looked at Morongyu. Morongyu. Her face was slightly red. It was very, very light, but Lin Xian saw it clearly. It's nothing. Morongyu shook her head. Of course she remembered, but she thought that she was the only one who wore less. So when Lin Xian took off his clothes and looked like a playboy, she couldn't help but think in that direction. I'm going to change. Morong Yu awkwardly tidied her hair and turned to leave. Lin Xian held back his laughter. This girl was really interesting. After a while, Morong Yu walked out in her pajamas. Lin Xian had seen her in her pajamas before. It was also because of this experience that Morong Yu didn't seem so shy. Moreover, she was a woman who didn't get emotional easily. Can we start? Morong Yu asked Lin Xian. Yes, but no one will come up here, right? No, I've already closed the teleportation formation. Okay, then let's start. Lin Xian nodded. They didn't go to places like rooms, because the cold and fire energy would surge later. If they went too close to the house, they might destroy it. So they just went straight to the empty garden. Lin Xian and Morong Yu sat facing each other. Chapter 1123. When Lin Xian sat down, he didn't have any intention of taking advantage of Morong Yu. This process was rather dangerous and required serious attention. He couldn't afford to be distracted. Later, you will use your cold energy and release it with your thousand ice eyes. I will release my fire energy. When the time comes, don't resist and absorb my fire energy. Morong Yu then asked Lin Xian. Ice and fire are incompatible. I don't have the fire attribute, so I will absorb. It's incompatible. That's why I told you not to resist the fire attribute. You will naturally understand in a while. Lin Xian said. Okay. Morong Yu trusted Lin Xian, although it was publicly known that ice and fire were incompatible. And she also felt that it was too mysterious. She chose to believe Lin Xian's words. This was because Lin Xian had indeed helped her reach the 5th level of the Thousand Ice Eyes. The advancement of the Thousand Ice Eyes was very difficult, mainly because it was difficult to figure out the method. But he knew. The two closed their eyes and sat facing each other. Then their hands touched. This was the first time Lin Xian had touched Morong Yu's hand. How should he put it? He felt that the hands of these beautiful girls were soft. Morong Yu was naturally the same. Perhaps it was because she was beautiful. Anyway, he had an inexplicable feeling that made him want to hold her hand. However, Lin Xian really didn't have such thoughts right now. The two of them released the power of ice and fire, slowly blending, slowly blending. After about 3 hours, Lin Xian opened his eyes and let go of her hand. Then he slowly stood up and gently walked to the side. His forehead was full of sweat, and his face was a little pale. It wasn't a big problem, just a loss of spiritual energy. He would be fine after some rest. Lin Xian was the one giving, while Morong Yu was the one taking. Therefore, Morong Yu's condition was very good. Moreover, she was very talented. Lin Xian only needed to guide her a little, and she would be fine. Lin Xian looked at Morong Yu and muttered to himself. When the Thousand Ice Pupils reaches the 6th level, it will undergo another qualitative change. I don't think there is anyone in the entire martial arts academy who can defeat her. Even if they are in the same realm, I don't think they can defeat her. The main thing was that she wasn't only strong in the Thousand Ice Pupils. She was strong in everything, including her personal strength, attributes, martial arts, and so on. Coupled with the Thousand Ice Pupils, she was like a tiger that had grown wings. If this girl reached an extreme realm, such as Linglong Shue's realm, there wouldn't be anyone in the same realm who could defeat her. She had time and space as well as the Thousand Ice Pupils. What kind of power could defeat her in the same realm? There was, and that was a warrior or a member of the Goblin clan, who had a deeper understanding of a powerful attribute than her. However, there were very few of them. Oh, okay. I'll go cook. Lin Xian stretched and walked into the kitchen. Morong Yu estimated that she would need at least an hour to finish her cultivation. Lin Xian would be able to cook in an hour. He didn't know if she had already prepared the ingredients, or if she had already planned to treat Lin Xian to a meal. There were plenty of ingredients in the kitchen anyway. About an hour later, a terrifying cold energy suddenly erupted from outside. Lin Xian walked out of the kitchen with a cucumber in his mouth. He leaned against the wall and looked outside. Everything within Lin Xian's line of sight was frozen. The power of frost assailed Lin Xian as well. However, Lin Xian was no weakling. He released a fire-type power to defend himself. After about 10 minutes, Morongyu opened her beautiful eyes. Her sky blue eyes shone brightly. Then, she revealed a pleasantly surprised expression. She had reached the 6th level of the 1,000 ice pupils. She had really reached the 6th level. She felt a little unreal. Then she looked around for Lin Xian. Seeing him leaning against the kitchen door and eating a cucumber while looking at her, Morongyu quickly got up and walked towards Lin Xian. Thank you. I've already reached the 6th level of the 1,000 ceiling ice eyes. Morongyu looked at Lin Xian gratefully. She had originally planned to reach the 5th level in 5 years, and reach the 6th level in 10 to 20 years. Then reaching the 6th level in a month was a pleasant surprise. Of course, she was very grateful to Lin Xian. Although reaching the 6th level is already very heaven-defying, especially for someone your age, I don't know how to advance further. You'll have to figure it out yourself. I can't help you. Morongyu nodded. I'm already very grateful. Then don't you have any gratitude? Lin Xian smiled and looked at Morongyu. Morongyu lowered her head and thought for a while. Then she said, I don't know how to thank you. If you need me in the future, feel free to look for me. Okay. Morongyu was a little special, similar to Linglong Shui. Han Chushue was also the same. However, Han Chushue had something special that made it easier for Lin Xian to pursue her. Linglong Shui was the same. Morongyu didn't have that. Therefore, he had to take it slow. The good news now was that he really did have special feelings for Morongyu. And Morongyu's feelings for Lin Xian were not low. Let's eat. It's almost done. Lin Xian said. Didn't you say I'll do it? I have nothing to do. Sigh. Where can you find a good man like me? You have to cherish me. Lin Xian smiled at Morongyu. Morongyu didn't say anything. The two of them went to the kitchen. Morongyu really liked Lin Xian's cooking. She felt that although Lin Xian couldn't compare to top geniuses like Duan Lingxiao, he was more outstanding than anyone else. At least he knew a lot of things that others didn't know. He was amazing. In any case, she admired Lin Xian. It was admiration, not admiration. Duan Lingxiao's was admiration. Lin Xian's was admiration. Oh right, what mission did you choose? Morongyu suddenly thought and asked Lin Xian. What about you? Toxic desperation. Morongyu said. Lin Xian. What a coincidence. Me too. Lin Xian grinned at her. Morongyu looked at Lin Xian. She wasn't surprised, but, you should be in the domain realm, right? Lin Xian nodded. The ranks of the demonic beasts in the toxic desperation weren't low. One had to be at least in the domain realm to enter. Otherwise, not only would they not be of any help, it would be very dangerous. And the final opponent was the Empyrean Realm Poison King. To anyone, even Morongyu, this was a very dangerous and huge challenge. She knew that Lin Xian's realm might not be very high. He might even be a low-star domain realm cultivator. However, she felt that Lin Xian shouldn't be weak. His ability to fight across realms was definitely not weak. Since he made his choice, he must have confidence in himself. After all, Morongyu knew that Lin Xian's talent was on the same level as hers. In a sense, it was a godhead talent. He definitely wasn't weak. Chapter 1124. Morongyu felt that it would be good to do a mission with Lin Xian. This mission requires us to kill a heavenly venerable realm monster. I might not be of much help. Lin Xian said to Morongyu with a smile. If you're really useless, you wouldn't have chosen this mission. Morongyu ate a mouthful of food and looked at Lin Xian lightly. She was still very smart. Of course, she understood this point. Lin Xian was also looking forward to Morongyu's match. He'd known her for quite some time now, but he'd never seen her in action. He'd only caught a glimpse of it today, but that wasn't her true strength. However, he'd definitely seen it during this trip to the extreme poison realm. It's true. I thought that you guys, the most powerful ones, would definitely choose this mission. I just followed behind you guys. Anyway, as long as the team mission is completed, everyone will get the same reward. Lin Xian said with a smile. Morongyu naturally didn't believe Lin Xian's nonsense. Why is your cooking so delicious? Morongyu still didn't let go of this point. She really couldn't understand. Do you want to know? Morongyu looked at Lin Xian and nodded. If you're with me, we'll cook together every morning, noon and night. At that time you'll know. Lin Xian said with a smile. There are many girls who like you. I'm not the only one. Morongyu said lightly, and then ate her food. How do you know? I can tell. Ling Ying, Han Chuxue, and even Xue Bingxin and Wang Xintong are all possible. Lin Xian. Was a woman's intuition really that strong? How can you tell? Why don't I know? It's very simple. The way I look at you and the way I treat you is special. Morongyu said. Is that a friend? Morongyu shook her head. I don't know. Think about it. You treat me quite special too. I can eat the food you cook. I can see you in your pajamas. I can even touch your hand. Morongyu. When can you touch my hand? Morongyu asked. Just now. When I was cultivating with you. I touched your hand for 2 hours. Morongyu. Forget it. I don't want to talk to him. A few days later, the first 4,000 students who could accept missions were ready. Lin Xian didn't do much these days. He just wandered around the girls and went back to Lin City to write songs for them. He saw Linya, Linglong Shui Dragoni and so on. It was quite strange. Bing hadn't looked for him in a long time. So Lin Xian really missed her. Today was the day they set out for the mission. The day before, they had already received the message of whether or not you had successfully accepted the mission. Why did they do this? Because the academy had to ensure the safety of the students. They would carefully look at the missions chosen by each person in the background and weigh the pros and cons. They would see if the mission was too difficult or if the danger to one's life was too great. If it was, they would choose to fail the mission and choose a new one. Lin Xian was much more comfortable in the 80th peak. These days, only a few people from the 80th peak challenged him, and they all failed. Then he felt much more comfortable. This morning, Lin Xian's phone rang. It was asking him to report to a certain place in the Martial Arts Academy. Everyone who accepted the mission would be there. They were a team mission, so they had to set out together. Lin Xian woke up and washed up. Then he went to the designated room. In the room, a few people had already arrived. It seemed like Lin Xian was the last one. There were a total of 6 people, and Lin Xian knew all of them. Morongyu, Duan Lingxiao, Zhuge Feng, Xue Bingxin, Xue Binglan and Wu Yuhan. To be honest, Lin Xian felt that it was normal to see them. Duan Lingxiao and Zhuge Feng were ranked 2nd and 3rd. Xue Bingxin and Xue Binglan were also in the domain realm. Although they purposely did not go to the backyard, the academy might know their strength. As for why the 2 girls chose this mission, after learning from Ling Ying that Lin Xian chose this mission, they chose it too. As for why, it was probably more to ensure Lin Xian's safety. Bing sent them here to ensure Lin Xian's safety. They were members of the Goblin clan. Although Xue Binglan looked weak, she was not weak at all. As for Wu Yuhan, it was normal for her to choose an extremely challenging mission. However, one mission, including himself Lin Xian, there were 7 people and 4 girls. These 4 girls were more or less related to him. This was difficult. Thinking about it, it was normal for people who participated in this mission to know each other. After all, they were definitely top-notch experts. However, when Duan Lingxiao saw Lin Xian enter, he was more surprised. He was not too surprised that Xue Bingxin and Xue Binglan entered, because he felt that Xue Bingxin was not weak. As for Xue Binglan, she was her younger sister. Naturally, she would not be weak either. However, Lin Xian, to be honest, he always thought that Lin Xian would not be too weak. However, he could not be too strong, right? However, it was different now. Everyone knew that the academy would select students for this mission. If the academy felt that you did not have the ability to do this mission, then the academy would filter you out. However, Lin Xian actually appeared in this mission. What did that mean? It meant that in the eyes of the academy, Lin Xian was qualified to do this mission. Therefore, it also meant that this Lin Xian was definitely not simple. Lin Xian glanced at them, and then at Wu Yuhan. Which Wu Yuhan was it today? Then Lin Xian looked at her eyes. Alright, it was that cold Wu Yuhan. Hello. Lin Xian then smiled and greeted everyone. Young Master Lin, I didn't expect you to also choose this mission. Duan Lingxiao acted as if he was very familiar with Lin Xian, and said to Lin Xian with a smile. Yes, I heard from class monitor Morongyu that she was in this mission, so I also chose it. Morongyu. Hey, don't talk nonsense. Although she did not care, it was obviously not the case. Oh, why? Zhuge Feng asked with a smile. He was also interested in Lin Xian. Originally, Lin Xian was a famous contestant in the academy. Now that he was qualified to do this mission, he also felt that Lin Xian was not simple, so he was quite curious about him. Because the class monitor is strong, I want to follow the class monitor. Lin Xian grinned. Ha, you're not weak either. Zhuge Feng laughed. No, I'm very weak. I'm really weak. I hope that everyone won't blame me if I drag everyone down. Everyone laughed. Very weak. If you're very weak, why would the academy allow you to participate in this mission? Pretentious. Xue Bingxin and Xue Binglong glanced at Lin Xian and did not look at him again. It was not that they did not want to look at him. After all, their relationship was not ordinary. They were just afraid that if they looked at him too much, it would arouse suspicion. Lin Xian then moved between the two of them. Chapter 1125. Why did the two of you accept this mission? Lin Xian asked. In the martial arts academy, it was no secret that Lin Xian seemed to have a good relationship with the campus belles. To be honest, Duan Lingxiao was quite envious. Although he liked Morongyu the most, all men like pretty girls. To train myself, Xue Bingxin said. Take care of me. Xue Bingxin was speechless. She nodded lightly and did not say anything. Hello. Lin Xian then waved at Wu Yuhan. Wu Yuhan turned her head to the side. Lin Xian touched the tip of his nose awkwardly. Young Master Lin, it seems like not all girls like you. Ha. Zhuge Feng laughed. That's for sure. However, I think most girls still like me. Am I right, class monitor? Morongyu was speechless. Why did he suddenly mention her? Yes. She nodded lightly. Duan Lingxiao frowned slightly. What did this Lin Xian mean? Could it be that he was also interested in Morongyu? Why did he always appear at the places she appeared? He even had to follow Morongyu for a mission? He even had to mention her in some conversations. He hoped that Lin Xian would not embarrass himself. At this moment, Vice President Luo Xiu walked in with a few instructors and glanced at them. Of course, only the president and vice president knew about Lin Xian's uniqueness. Therefore, they would definitely agree to let Lin Xian participate in such a mission. Not bad. You're all here. Luo Xiu then nodded. Vice President, I beg you to change the rules. I've been appearing in the Martial Arts Academy every day. A group of people surround me and want to challenge me. It's so hard for me. Lin Xian put on an aggrieved expression. Although he had reached the 80th peak, and those people could not casually challenge Lin Xian, he still could not refuse to appear in the Martial Arts Academy. Although defeating Lin Xian would not give him the right to enter the backyard, he would be able to obtain Lin Xian's ranking on the Lin Xian batch. Then why aren't there so many challengers? Luo Xiu asked. I have to find the reason from myself. Lin Xian rubbed his chin. Of course the academy was aware of this. They also knew that Lin Xian was collecting money to compete in the tournament. However, this was a matter where one party was willing to pay, and the other party was willing to accept, so they didn't care. On the contrary, when the dean heard this news, he couldn't help but laugh out loud. He was beginning to like Lin Xian more and more. This Lin Xian was surrounded by too many beautiful women, so it was normal for him to become the target of public criticism. So those people are jealous of my handsomeness. Lin Xian then said with a very reasonable expression. Uft. Xue Binglong couldn't help but laugh out loud. Then, when she realized that she had lost her composure, she quickly stopped laughing and looked to the side with her big eyes. What are you laughing at? Am I wrong? Lin Xian rolled his eyes at her. Yes. Xue Binglong hurriedly said. All right, stop fooling around. Let's get down to business. Luo Xiu interrupted Lin Xian. Then Luo Xiu slowly paced around. The instructor beside him turned on the big screen. And on the big screen were some videos of the Desperate Poison Territory. The 7 of you are going to the Desperate Poison Territory. This Desperate Poison Territory is one of the most difficult missions of all. In my opinion, it is the most difficult. Apart from the difficulty of dealing with the heavenly venerable realm Poison King, the entire desperate poison territory is filled with poison. Anything you see, as long as it exists there, is poisonous. Therefore, you have to constantly resist the power of poison. Once you are poisoned, you will be in great danger in that place. Luo Xiao paused for a moment and then continued. Who has fought with a heavenly venerable before? Then apart from Lin Xian, everyone raised their hands. Lin Xian? Was it that awkward? He had fought with a heavenly venerable before, right? However, he definitely couldn't win. It was all solved by the big shots around him. It was either Ling Longyue or Morong Qing. The few of them glanced at Lin Xian. Lin Xian coughed dryly. The big shots are awesome. Everyone. It's normal for a domain realm cultivator not to fight with a heavenly venerable. Lin Xian, you have to be extra careful. Lin Xian nodded. Then, Luo Xiao said, in the desperate poison territory we have checked now. There are about 3, maybe even 5 poison kings. Then he pointed at the map of the desperate poison territory on the screen and said, there is one in this area, there is one in this area, here, here, here. They looked at the screen carefully and roughly remembered the location. Demonic beasts have territorial awareness. Basically, they will be in that area. It's not wrong to be in your own territory, but it's inevitable that there will be special situations. You all need to be flexible. In the entire desperate poison territory, there are many demonic beasts. The area it occupies is about the size of 3 to 4 counties. It's not big, but it's not small either. Normally, it would take more than a day to walk around, but you all might need to stay there for more than 2 days. Every minute and every second is dangerous. There are about 5 poison kings. 4 of them are domain realm, and 1 is a heavenly venerable. I feel that with your strength, it shouldn't be a problem to deal with the domain realm poison king. Even if the domain realm poison king is higher than yours, a heavenly venerable poison king is a great challenge. You all have a great risk of dying. The 7 of you need a perfect plan. Oh right, there's one more person. He should be here soon. When the time comes, the captain, vice captain, the team, the mission, who will be in charge of the main attack, who will be in charge of cover, who will be in charge of control, and so on. I believe you all understand these by yourselves. You all can solve them yourselves. The more important thing I'm going to talk about next is this heavenly venerable poison king. This is your trial. I won't reveal too much about this poison king, because everything can change. If you all work together, there's a great chance that you can defeat him. But there's also a great chance that all 8 of you will die there. Poison is a very important point. Heavenly venerable poison king. In the same realm, demonic beasts are much stronger than humans, but you all are also geniuses who surpass your peers. So do your best. Luo Xiao then nodded to the teacher beside him. Following that, he gave out things to everyone one by one. I'll give you 1 space crystal per person. If you encounter an extremely dangerous situation, the space crystal can save your life. You must keep it in a place where you won't lose it, and can use it immediately. The other one is a detoxification pill. If you enter an extremely poisonous place, you must take it. It will make you immune to most poisons for half a day. Of course, it won't work on poisons from the Poison King level. What I need to tell you is that everything in the world has a counter to each other. In an extremely poisonous place, everything is poisonous, but there must be something that can detoxify it. If you really can't take it, don't force yourself. It doesn't matter if you fail the mission. Your life is the most important. Everyone nodded. All right, that's all I want to say. You all can come up with a plan. An hour later, the Academy will send you all to the vicinity of the extreme poison realm. I won't disturb you anymore. After saying that, he walked out. Chapter 11:26. There were only 7 of them left in the room. If it was an ordinary mission, there would be no need for them to do this. If it was an ordinary mission, the Academy wouldn't have purposely called them over to warn them. However, they were just a few domain realm cultivators dealing with a heavenly venerable realm demonic beast. Moreover, this demonic beast was using poison, and the map was also filled with poison, so they had to be careful. At this time, Xiaoyan walked in from outside. Sorry, something happened, so I came late. Xiaoyan walked in with an apologetic look. So it's young Master Xiao, nice to meet you, Duan Lingxiao said. Xiaoyan's gaze swept across them and stopped on Lin Xian for a moment. This Lin Xian was also here. Of course, he hated Lin Xian to the core. Since Lin Xian was also here, then there were some things that could be done well in this mission. Nice to meet you. I still need everyone to take care of each other. I've already learned about the extreme poison realm. I just met the Vice Dean, so we can directly make a plan. Xiaoyan said. Then the 8 of us will make a plan together. Duan Lingxiao glanced at everyone and said. Lin Xian snatched a lollipop from Xue Binglan and ate it happily. First, the problem of the captain and vice captain. Duan Lingxiao said. The captain's strength must be the best, and at the same time, he must have great commanding ability. I recommend Morongyu. Zhuge Feng said. Recommend. Lin Xian then said. I heard that in addition to being strong, the class leader is also proficient in commanding troops. Moreover, he is in the military class and has the heart to command an army in the future. He is suitable to be the captain. Naturally, he must have commanding ability, right? Morongyu being the captain was what everyone wanted. The main thing was that Lin Xian had to recommend her. If Duan Lingxiao or Xiaoyan were to be the captain, Lin Xian would be in danger. Under normal circumstances, a team like theirs would absolutely obey the captain's orders. And no problem. They nodded. Duan Lingxiao originally wanted to try to be the captain, but after Lin Xian and Zhuge Feng said that, he naturally had no chance. Alright then. Morongyu was not pretentious at all. She felt that this was also an opportunity to train herself. Then I'll leave the rest to class rep Morongyu, Lin Xian said with a smile. Morongyu then said, the vice captain can be handed over to Duan Lingxiao or Zhuge Feng. Their strength shouldn't be a problem. As for Xiaoyan, I'm not familiar with him. If you want to try, you can tell me. Xiaoyan shook his head. No need. Zhuge Feng also said, leave it to young Master Duan. I don't like to waste my time. Good. Vice Captain, I won't be pretentious. Duan Lingxiao nodded. For the next team, we have 8 people, so we need 2 or 3 vanguards. My close combat ability is not bad, so I can be one of them, Morongyu said. Duan Lingxiao said, then leave the second one to me. The third one. Morongyu looked at Lin Xian. Lin Xian shook his head. I can't. Although I have the lightning attribute, but I'm weaker. Then what about you, Xue Bingxin? I can. Xue Bingxin nodded. Alright, next is control. Control requires the control attribute. Ice Xue Bingxin is already the vanguard. Xue Binglan, do you have the ice attribute? Xue Binglan nodded. Yes. Then you'll be the main control. Although everyone can control, you'll be the main control point. Alright. Next is protection. Lin Xian raised his hand. I'll do it. Xiaoyan also said. I'll do it too. I have the space attribute. Alright. Lin Xian also has the space attribute. You two will be in charge of protection. Although they were in charge of protection and control, it didn't mean that they only had to control and protect. They also had to fight. It just meant that during the fight, they had to take care of both. No problem. Lin Xian nodded. Space was indeed the best attribute to protect teammates, because it was the most direct. Like water and light, they weren't for protection but for support. Zhuge Feng. Morongyu glanced at him. I'll be the support. Zhuge Feng smiled. Hey, you're the third-ranked expert. Support? Lin Xian asked. My ability is a little special. I can be used as a support. And don't underestimate the power of a support. Zhuge Feng smiled. Awesome. Lin Xian clasped his fist. Yuhan, you'll be in charge of killing the last one. Wu Yuhan nodded. Morongyu did have the talent to be a general. Her decisions were correct, and she wasn't indecisive. She and Wu Yuhan were in the same dormitory. She knew some of Wu Yuhan's abilities. Wu Yuhan had the dark attribute. In terms of martial arts or strength, the one that could cause the most explosive damage to a monster was either Lin Xian's purple lightning, the strongest lightning, or Wu Yuhan's killing ability. Her single target attack ability was terrifying. She could be understood as an agility-type assassin. Alright, that's about it. If there are any problems, we'll solve them on the way. If there are any suggestions, feel free to say them. If there aren't any for now, we'll do it this way. Morongyu said calmly. Alright, Captain. Lin Xian smiled. Morongyu had the urge to roll her eyes at Lin Xian. Then, half an hour to prepare the supplies. We'll usually stay there for 2 days, maybe even longer. Although we don't need to eat, the long battle will exhaust our physical strength. Eating and drinking are necessary, including some spiritual weapons, healing potions, and so on. The academy has them all. Half an hour later, we'll gather here and set off. Yes. Then, everyone dispersed. Lin Xian walked with Xuebingxin and Xuebinglan. One of the sisters was cute and shy easily, while the other was cold but very beautiful. Lin Xian could see their realms. The elder sister was at 6-star domain realm, while the younger sister was at 4-star domain realm. They were very strong. Among the 8 of them, Morongyu, Duan Lingxiao, and Zhuge Feng's realms couldn't be seen by Lin Xian. They were definitely above 6-star. Wu Yuhan was also at 6-star. Hey, what's your boss doing recently? He didn't look for me. Lin Xian asked. If she didn't look for Lin Xian for a week, it wouldn't be a problem. But she was pregnant now. I don't know. We didn't go back. Master didn't look for us either. Don't tell me she doesn't dare to have sex with me now that she's pregnant? Lin Xian stroked his chin and thought to himself. Why don't you ask him yourself? Xuebingxin said. Lin Xian was too embarrassed to ask her. He knew that, but he had gotten her pregnant. For some reason, he was too embarrassed to talk to her. It's okay. Help me pay for the things I buy later. Xuebingxin. This man. Why did he take advantage of her like this? Lin Xian expressed that the money she spent was Rinbing's anyway. She definitely didn't lack money. He took advantage of her. You're tuning in to the Earbook Haven YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.